living that life, looking aggravated. Got straight to the money, no procrastinating. Buying any.
Yes, 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 y'all. You are tuned in with the Watch Along Party with yours truly, the Commissioner, Trill Dollar Bill. And to my right or to my left, depending on how y'all watching this, is the newest member to the team. You know, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Kev, do the honors.
What is going on? Boxing's most energetic voice, Capital Kevin, and I'm here with the Commissioner Trill, in association with IBH USA, sponsored by D-Rock. 40% off if you use IBOXINGHUB-24 at D-Rock Clothing.
Yeah. They got you doing the sponsors and everything. Kev, how you
feeling? Man, I got, I'm like Jim Lamb. I got my notes right here. You know what I mean?
Notes and everything. Okay.
Yeah, I got the notes. Sponsorship, 40% off. D-Rock. Make sure you over there. D/Rock.
That's what's up. Usually we'll cut to production and have them put up the promo. You know what I'm saying?
Can't leave D-Rock.
We don't know what's up with production, but usually they'll throw up the whole kid and caboodle thing that we got going on. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Watch Along. It's been a while since I've been. Well, that's what I was talking about, the promo video that we got, from D-Rock Clothing. Production came in, when they came in. But shout out to production. Yeah, that's D-Rock Clothing right there. Make sure that y'all hit the code up and, tell them Trill sent you, and we'll make it happen. But yeah, it's all good. Like I said, it's been a while since I tuned in, and it feels good to be back. Covering this fight and doing this with the Capital Kev, the newest member of the IBOXINGHUB-USA team. You dig? And this is gonna be exciting. Right now, they got the fight on right now with Davis versus Hernandez. But before we get into more of the fight, Kev, tell the people about you, man, and a little bit about you and your journey and how you got into boxing. We got some time here before these main events kick off.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. So boxing is all I've ever known. So from my first fight ever was in my aunt was living in a trailer park, and the first fight that we saw was that Trinidad versus De La Hoya fight. And it was a really big deal. It was a lot bigger than what I even, could really assume at the time. But I just, for me, like, boxing is everything. I always feel like, the ring will expose the dog in you, or it will expose the in you, and so it's a wonderful sport. And so, I got into it when I was 16, went to I believe I started at Clinton County Boxing Club, did a small stunt there, did 2 exhibition fights, and then I had to transition into college. And then in college I was part of Clayton County Boxing Club short term, because I had to focus really on college and whatnot. And so, but I've always stayed sparring. I've been in different gyms in Ohio and whatnot. And this is the only sport that I watch. It's the only sport that I love. And I think, Trill, we talked too that, I just, right now I would love to go professional, and I'm eyeing one of these minor sanctioning bodies, and I would love to go for a world title and get that under my belt. And that would bring a lot more validity to the comments that we make too. It's different when you've been in the ring versus you never being in the ring. So that's me.
Nah, that's dope, because that's how I feel about boxing as well. All the other sports is cool, but it's nothing like boxing.
Yeah, no, they don't. You don't strike fear into people by playing basketball with them. You don't strike fear into them or intimidate them by saying we're gonna go outside and let's see who play ball the hardest. Nah.
Yeah,
when it comes to it, there's a different type of like energy when somebody knows that you got their number. Kind of like Hernandez got Kyron Davis's number and just put him down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he just dropped Kyron Davis. This is his first time being put on the campus.
Yeah. Well, no, this is actually the second time, but I believe the first one was ruled a shove.
Yeah.
But you know so we have a typical Cuban fighter here, right? And so
Yeah, with a lot of
I
experience.
I believe I believe he is the defending champion, not world champion, but I'm not sure which version of the WBA he has. So I would need to verify that. But I have heard of Kyron Davis. He does have a name, an up and coming name in the boxing world. But right now it seems like Hernandez is getting the better of the two.
Oh yeah, I was looking at like Davis. You know, they was trying to say he was like the next Tank. You know, everybody was giving
Yeah, I
him
don't
a
think
lot of praise. You know what I'm saying? A lot of praise
that's
too early. You know,
that's cap. That's definitely cap. That's
you know.
definitely cap.
And you know, this I think he probably didn't expect this guy. The guy got a great amateur background. You know, so you know, I probably is one of those things where you know he probably underestimated the guy coming up. You know, people start to drink their own Kool-Aid. You know, and
Yeah.
start to believe the hype that's around them. Shout out to the people's that's in the chat. Shout out to Mr. Neutral.
Yeah.
Yes, my brother. It feels good to be back. And shout out to yours truly, Trey. You know, the man behind the motion, behind the machine is my brother Trey holding it down. You know, and shout out to shout out to Kev in his debut. He's really kicking it off good. We got Corone Davis here. Yeah, they say his first time down since 2016. Second
Oh,
time.
see, yep. So the first one was a shove.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So excited. I mean, let's talk about it, right? So a couple things have been happening in the sport in these last couple of days. We've had the snack scandal with Munguia, right? Give us your take on that.
Okay, pardon me, I didn't even hear you. What you say?
Oh, the snack scandal that is going on right now. Give us your take on that.
The snack scandal that's been going on right now. To tell you the truth, I've I've been talking about snack and I've been documenting, but talking about snack. I want to know how you feel about snack and Victor Conte.
You know, Victor Conte
I got a lot of
just
slack.
put out.
I got a lot of slack.
Yeah.
You know,
Victor just put out a post to Caleb, I believe the Caleb plan. I need to find it. I had it up earlier. While you're talking, I'll pull it up and I'll read it off to everybody really quickly here. I actually got it pulled up.
I've been known, you know, as not being a advocate of Victor Conte. I'm not an advocate of Victor Conte. I never believed that he should ever be back allowed into the sport of boxing ever again. And then, you know, it's just how I feel. I went head to head with Victor Conte in this conversation. A lot of people agreed, and a lot of people, you know, felt like I was being a little hostile. But I feel like, you know, you calling people out because you're the number one cheat. You know how to, you know, get away with cheating. This is what you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like when you was doing with the clear, you could be doing with snack. And that's what I was telling people. And don't get mad at the fighters because they probably don't know. Like the other fighters and athletes didn't know what they was taking when they was messing with Victor Conte. You know? So
No, absolutely.
this
Can
could
you
be
see the screen, Trill? Can you see it?
Nah, we can't see the screen.
Gotcha. I was sharing it. Let me see. I might just have to
If
stop.
if you could send that to production and
Okay.
he could probably put that up for you.
Yeah, I got you. No worries. It's all good. So I'm gonna read it off to you what he did say. He said, "I got a straight up question for Jermall Charlo, who fights Tomas LaManna tonight. Since Mr. Charlo has made some unfounded accusations about the use of drugs in boxing, this is my question for you, Mr. Charlo. Did you and LaManna do random drug testing during your training camps leading up to this fight? If so, please name the entity that did random testing and when the testing has started, insinuating that there was no testing done for this fight coming up. It is my opinion that neither you or LaManna did any random drug testing during your training camps for this fight. Please confirm or deny whether you did random drug testing preceding this fight, and if not, then why not? Please do not run away from this important question. Thank you in advance for your response. Boxing deserves to know the truth. At Premier Boxing." And then he goes and says, "In my opinion, Jermall Charlo knows about as much about doping and anti-doping in sport as I know about skydiving, and I'm afraid of heights." Seems that he may be watching the videos of me attempting. So and I'm not gonna continue to read on, but this sounds like he basically is insinuating that Jermall Charlo is not the fondest of Victor Conte, right? And so it seems like he is insinuating, Victor Conte, that Jermall Charlo is quote unquote on that snack, right? Because he's insinuating that there was no random anti-doping done for this fight coming up with Cornflake. So I don't know. A lot of goofy stuff going on.
Listen, man, Victor would know from one cheek to another. Victor would know.
Victor would know.
That's what I mean. Listen. It can't. It's like the part calling the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? Like with Victor, he still got some things. Is he in the clear? Is Victor in the clear?
I mean, he's still in the industry, so he's got a whole.
He's still in the industry, and we know how this industry works. But he's not in the clear. No pun intended.
No. He's. I mean, his name is certainly slandered, right?
Yeah,
so
it's slandered. We still waiting for his B sample.
Yeah, we still waiting for Victor Conte's B sample. No, absolutely. I don't even know if we got an A sample.
Yeah, I know.
We never even got the A sample.
Yeah, but yeah, this is what the people always want to do. They always want to, call somebody out on their stuff. They gotta make sure that they're, you can't throw. That's what we grew up on. That's what we always say. You can't throw stones.
Mm-hmm.
If you live in a glass house, and that's what it is.
No, absolutely. But I'm not gonna let you slide. I'm going back to the Munguia scandal.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
What is your opinion? What is your opinion on this Munguia scandal?
Okay, my opinion on the Munguia scandal.
So let me refresh everybody. Let me refresh you. This is the bombshell. Munguia has tested positive for exogenous testosterone after his May 3rd rematch win over Bruno Sarace, the Frenchman, in Riyadh. So this is not your typical tainted beef excuse, straight up synthetic testosterone. So the question is it true or is it not? He's come out to say that he would willingly submit himself to a second testing, which that's not really a big deal. Anybody would, right? And we've seen that. So, what is how do you get synthetic testosterone in your system? I mean, and was it known or was it unbeknownst to him?
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking for the tweet where me and you we talked about it a little bit, and I basically said, I'm trying to find it. Bear with me, folks. But it was more on the lines of this. When they said that he got tested positive for a banned substance, and everybody was making a big deal about it, and I get it, rightfully so. But this is boxing, and I'm telling you what basically happened. The fight. Okay, there it is. I found it. Capital Cap. I got it. I got it right here. This is what I said. Right. In my humble opinion, I think the turnaround for the fight was too fast for the homie, and he didn't get a chance to cycle off of whatever he was using. That's what I think of what happened with the Munguia situation.
You really?
This is what I think. I think the turnaround for the fight was too soon, and whatever he was cycling off of didn't get out of his system in time.
Oh yeah, possible. But that just means that he was really on it then. You know that's what you're saying, right?
All I'm saying is.
No, that's what you're saying.
I'm just saying this.
For you to cycle off of it, you got to be on it. So Trill, come on now.
This is all I'm saying.
That means you were on it.
Hey, Kev, you put me on the spot. You know what I'm saying, Kev? You put me on the spot. All I'm saying is walk with me. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to my brother. He used to always say this, walk with me. This is what I'm asking you to walk with me. Let's just say Munguia was supposed to go in there that first time, and he was supposed to beat the Frenchman. He was supposed to knock him out. And that was supposed to set up a big fight with your man, Edgar Berlanga. But he messed up the bag. You know? The pressure was on. The pressure was on.
Ain't no damn pressure on that dude. Sriracha was a nobody, man. Stop. Like, you gonna tell me you line up all of Munguia's fights at 168? You gonna even at 160? You gonna tell me Sriracha was the biggest fight out of all the people you could have been on the snack on? You going Sriracha? Man, they got a sauce at Subway. When you get a $5 foot long, one of the sauces that they ask you for is Sriracha.
Munguia had before that fight.
Hey, I don't even know. I'm about to go check right now.
Go check it.
Actually, probably Dervin. Who was it?
No, it was a tough fight he had. I think it was.
He ain't no tough fight.
I think he had a tough fight.
Munguia don't take tough fights, man. He take fights. Everybody. He fights guys that everybody else beat up, and it was Eric Bazignan, some other dude that we don't know. He was. I believe he was highly rated though in one of the sanctioning bodies, Bazignan, which I believe he was highly rated in the WBO. Right now, Bazignan is from Canada, so another Canada guy. He must have a connection over there with Tiger Promotions. That's why I keep getting on these guys. So he was 21 in the world according to BoxRec.
Yeah.
And for some reason now he is now. Let's see this. Yeah, Eric Bazignan.
Yeah.
21 in the world at the time.
Yeah,
still is right now, anyways.
Yeah. Wasn't he? He was undefeated.
So I mean, I don't want to put down people who don't have a name. This is how you get a name, is fighting names, right? But before that it was Canelo. Before that was John Ryder. We, respectfully, John Ryder's not anybody that we need to be talking about. He's not.
But he went in there and took a humble beating from Canelo. Canelo didn't really want to, do too much to him.
No, he didn't.
We got our peoples in the comment section. Shout out to Mr. Neutral. He's letting us know Davis is getting pieced up right here. Yeah, he just, to me, I just think he looks like a deer in headlights, Mr. Neutral. I was sitting here glancing at the fight, Kev, while we're chopping it up and getting the people familiar with what we doing here. But as I'm seeing here, it seems like Davis is like a deer in headlights. He don't know what's going on.
He's not really responding well.
Yeah. He's getting beat up in there. He don't know what to do in there. This guy is just a level above him. That's what it's looking like in here. He's gonna have to catch him with something. But yeah, back to what we were saying with the roids. It's a tricky situation, Kev. It really is, because you wanna think that these guys is on the up and up, and you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? But then we know the history, and we know the excuses that people will say later. I'm saying is what people will say later. The pressure to compete, the pressure to win, the pressure to the want to win so I can feed my family. That's all the excuses where people say to be a cheater. You know what I'm saying? This is everything that they're gonna say. So that's why I was saying it, how Munguia, it just seemed like, because I just don't see certain stuff just happen to just be popping up in your system. Certain things just don't pop up in your system.
Not unless you put, something doesn't come from nothing. Scientifically, right? Something doesn't come from nothing. Everything has a source of origin. So you didn't pop for PEDs or synthetic testosterone for no reason. Like it wasn't that you got popped for nothing. No, you put it in your body, and like Trill said, you possibly just, you didn't cycle off enough time to get it out of your system, but that just means that it was in your system.
Yeah.
And it's sad, Trill. It really is sad that out of all the fighters, you have to use it for this guy. This guy, Sriracha, this guy will ride off into the sunset. We will never hear about this guy again. This guy might not even become a world champion, which means that Munguia's his history as a fighter will age terribly. You fought Bazignan has coasted into the sunset. You fought Sriracha will now coast into the sunset. You fought John Ryder, big deal. Like John Ryder retired as never becoming a world champion. Like, should we go further back? Like, should we go further back? Because if we go further back, before that was Derevyanchenko, and that was everybody's beat Derevyanchenko, bro. The guy's a gateway fighter at this point. I'm not saying he's not a tough fight. He certainly is a tough fight. He certainly is a good fighter, but was he top level elite fighter? Because we've never seen Derevyanchenko win. What fight have we seen Derevyanchenko win? He's always on the budding end of a loss. After that, before that, he was fighting at 160 Gonzalez Correa. Before that, Jimmy Kelly. God, Demetrius Ballard. That's a decent name. Demetrius Ballard back at 160. But like, look at the resume. It's just, I mean, it's not good for a guy who's already 40 fights in. The guy's fought 47 times already. You know, the guy's 28. We give Berlanga such a hard time. Berlanga's like at 20 fights. The first 17 was KOs. My man never even got rounds. Never even got rounds. They're both the same age. Why is Munguia fighting these caliber of guys at the same age that Berlanga is, and Berlanga's just now budding? Stop it, man. Make it make sense. Stop it.
I mean, this is what the thing is, right? I'm like a helpless romantic when it comes to boxing, right? Say, I can get it. I can get when, you know, a person hasn't had an extensive amateur background, so they learn on the job, you know, and then they get pushed a certain way, you know, by having certain fights. Like a lot of Mexican fighters, you know, that came up with not good amateur backgrounds. If you look at their records, they had like 40-something fights and stuff like that before they, you know what I'm saying, got in there with some real tough competition. So I think that I don't hold that against Munguia. You know, I think he was learning on the job, and you know what I'm saying, he had the right people in his corner. A lot of people don't get that, and a lot of people don't get the right people in their corner, and he got a good fan base, so they wanted to protect that and wanted to protect the money. You know, that's another thing.
Sure. What are you talking about? What are you talking about right now?
You know, because you was talking about his record and all the people that he fought, and I say, you know, this is a business at the end of the day, Kev. And that's why he has
and he's bad business. And he's bad business. There's good business and then there's bad business. He's bad business, Trill. He been bad business.
I mean, you know,
my man beat Saddam Ali at 154. He's done to win the WBO title. He's done nothing since. At 154,
yeah.
At 154, he's done nothing since.
No, they would try to, you know what? He had a little bit. They try to, you know, maximize his success. You know, putting him in certain arenas around his hometown and stuff where they can make some money off of the young man, so they could try to make him into a star. That's what I seem like they were trying.
He's not a star. He's not a star, Trill. You're 47 fights in.
Listen.
Like, how long are we gonna build the guy? How long at what point are you gonna actually? Come on, bro.
Kev, but there's some people out there that think Jaime Munguia is a huge star. He's not.
No, he is not.
Out there that got Howie Munguia T-shirts, and they walk.
He's not a star.
There. They got his merch.
Trill, tell me what podcast you didn't see Jaime Munguia on. Tell me what podcast you didn't see him on. Tell me.
Listen, they turn out for him.
You said he was a star, right?
They turn out for him.
Oh, you said he was a star?
They turn out for him.
Okay. Are you saying he's a star?
I'm saying I done seen him on Telemundo.
When he fought Canelo? When? Trill, are you saying he's a star? Forget about the fans. I'm asking you. Are you saying Jaime Munguia is a star?
I'm not saying.
Okay, cool. All right. Because he's not. He's not. First of all, what podcast you see? You don't see him on $1 Million Worth of Game. You don't see him on black podcasts like Berlanga.
You don't see him
on television.
You don't see half of these people on there. And Berlanga,
on there
because he was fighting who?
No, he was just on there the other day. He was just on there the other day by himself after the Canelo fight.
Because he just came off of fighting who? And now he got another fight coming up after fighting who? He hasn't fought anybody.
Okay, but Munguia fought Canelo, and what did he get?
He got
what
the same
podcast?
trophy.
He ain't get on no podcast. He ain't get on no Gilly the Kid podcast.
Listen,
He didn't get on none of the media.
Listen,
he ain't on television.
He's not bringing. Listen, we already know that Berlanga is more entertaining than the Howie Munguia. We both know.
But so he's a star. So
You
he's
know
a star.
what I'm saying?
So he's a star.
They can get
So
more
he's a star.
likes of them, and they, Howie Munguia is not going to do the whole Edgar Berlanga, talking.
Berlanga on radio. My man is on Power 97, bro, with Charlemagne the God. My man is a star, bro.
He should be. He's from New York. He should be on the radio where he's at. I'm sure Howie is the man.
Shushu Carrington from New York. He not on Power 97.
He didn't get a chance to get in there with a Canelo.
He not up there. That's what I'm saying. Just because you're from New York, that don't mean that you get to be in media like that.
Listen, he's from New York, and he got a chance to get in there with the number one guy.
Bro, okay, so Shushu fight somebody with a belt. He gonna get on Power 97. He gonna get on Gilly the Kid.
If Shushu
gets
a fight up with anyway, he's gonna be on the Breakfast Club.
I'm putting that in my notes. That if he fight anyway, he gonna get on these big podcasts. I'm putting that on my notes. And when it don't happen, I'm gonna be like, remember that time you said that XYZ and it didn't happen? Because I know he not gonna get on there.
He gonna get on there.
He ain't getting on there. Nah, he ain't getting on there.
And besides, he got a lot of things that Berlanga got going for him is one thing. We're forgetting. Where's your chain at? You know the one reason why he's getting that certain type of love.
Hey, it ain't my fault that my man got a rapper behind him. It's not my fault, New York. Hey, what did Ja Rule say? I got 100 reasons. I'm from New York. I ain't my fault.
Listen, shout out to Joey Crack.
And that's another point. That's another point. Where Munguia at with the Norteños?
In Canelo.
My man, Munguia don't got no reggaeton rappers. He ain't got no Norteños behind him. He ain't got Vicente Fernandez. He don't got nobody. At the very least, you from Tijuana, cartel capital of the world. You could at least come out with the head of the cartel. Not even that. We want to, like, bro, you should be walking to the ring and like what's the Teflon? Man, a Teflon and like a fake Glock. And like when Zab Judah used to come out with the trunks that would say Super Cartel Brooklyn. Like, no, man, Munguia, he don't, bro, you from Tijuana, like play into that role, into that environment. This dude is whack.
He's just a good guy. He's
not a good guy. This guy just man, look. And you know what's crazy, Trill? That if he fought Berlanga, he would be the B-side. And this guy's a former world champ. Berlanga never been champion. Never been champion. Berlanga would be the A-side. What does that tell you?
You think so?
Man, 100%. Berlanga would be the A-side. Munguia ain't no A-side. Man, Munguia ain't no A-side, bro. I promise you that is gonna be Berlanga versus Munguia. Berlanga already working on a promotional deal. My man about to go into a co-promotional deal.
Listen, what Berlanga needs to do is worry about his next fight with Shiraz, because if that doesn't go well, then you know the trolling is coming. The trolling is going to come.
They're going to troll everybody. They troll Munguia right now.
It's going to be horrible. Well, we see you trolling Munguia right now. So.
I'm not trolling. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, Trill. Where am I trolling at? Bro, no, tell me the truth. It's Tijuana the capital. It's cartel capital, right? Why we ain't never seen you with?
I'm not gonna put that on my people in Tijuana.
That's. We done seen the documentaries. Hey, we done seen the documentaries. Look, low key.
I put that on all the hardworking people that's in Tijuana. I'm not.
That's fine, but we have never seen him play into that role. We could, come out with like, the machine guns or the Teflon and the, all that. Man, we could have been come out to that. We ain't never seen Munguia with nice teeth. He don't got no veneers on. He don't got no chains on. We don't never see him in nice cars. We don't see him with a good looking girlfriend. He don't got a good haircut. Like, bro, my man is ugly, bro. Like, let's just be real, Trill. My man is ugly. What happened to the days when fighters used to be good looking and you used to be like, wow, I want to be like him. My man fight good, world champ, and he attractive. Pause. Like, all these fighters is ugly now. Like, we don't even want to look like them, dude.
one thing that I would give you
is that he's ugly.
Even if Shiraz,
yo, my man don't want to talk about McGill. He want to talk about Berlanga. Yo, that's wild.
Even if Berlanga loses to Shiraz, I think the Munguia-Berlanga fight will still be an attraction. It
will.
And I think, and to your credit, Kev, I am leaning towards Edgar to win that fight. I think he gets away. with it. But yeah, man, there's a massacre going on in this ring, man. The homie, he's just picking them apart. He's just picking them apart.
Yeah, Chiron is certainly fading out. He's just getting the butt end of the fight. I mean, he really is. But yeah, no, I believe that if Munguia Berlanga happens, and listen to me, man, it's true. Like when I was younger, fighters were good looking, they were attractive, and they fought good, right? Like Oscar De La Hoya.
Fighters like that, Kev. I don't know.
Bro, you stop, Trill.
When I was growing up, you know who the fighters was when I was growing up?
Man, tell me, because I'm gonna make a point right after this to prove my point.
Mr. Hitman Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray.
Yeah, good-looking people.
Don't forget Roberto Duran.
Good-looking people. But watch. Purnell was good-looking. Oscar.
You had Tyson.
Roy Jones Jr. You never seen that video from the Brat? I'm in love. Who was in that video? Who was in that video flexing? That was Roy Jones Jr. Who was the model for the video? Roy Jones.
That's because Roy Jones was knocking people out.
That's because Roy Jones had a six-pack and was good-looking. Go ahead, Chase.
And that's the thing. One thing to add. One thing about Sweet Pea, he's not a knockout artist. He's still winning fights, but he's about defense, using his skills. Skills win boxing.
But here's the thing:
skills pay the bills.
Sweet Pea, people they got a misconception when they was talking about, he wasn't. Nah, Sweet Pea was different. He wasn't no runner. He was in there. He was making people miss. He was making them look silly. He wasn't going around the ring 2 times, doing a Spanish fly around the ring 2 times. No, he was staying in the pocket, and he was making them miss, and he was making them pay.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. That's why he's better defensive skills, better than Mayweather, in my personal opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's why we call him Sweet Pea. That's why Floyd,
but Floyd paid homage to Sweet Pea. These are people that he learned from. You know what I'm saying? So we done seen Floyd pay.
Floyd had a different,
Floyd
had a different version of defense. He had more of a stationary right there, and Sweet Pea didn't really, and block. He was more of a blocker. I would put him more of as a blocker. Right, Sweet Pea was more of a mover. Like he would move his head and move his body, and he wouldn't necessarily stay stationary.
Hey Kevin, you know what that called? Especially when making miss amount of pay, skills pay the bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this guy, he's just beating. He's beating up on Davis, man. This is just. If he survives this without getting knocked out, then we can chop this up as a learning experience, and hopefully, he doesn't.
Why did we move on? Why did we move on from the point that boxers at one point in time, like looking good was like it was important? Like that why do you think Canelo, out of all Mexicans besides Julio Cesar Chavez, why is Canelo such an attraction? The initial marketing appeal was that we have a white man with ginger hair and he fights good. It's true. It's true. Greatness. Why are we going front like it's not true? We have a white man with ginger hair and freckles. He looks Irish and he fights good.
That came later. At first, people was making fun of him. They were making fun of the kid. They were making fun of the kid. They were like, he was pale. I remember I was messing with him since the Citron days, when they were making fun of the Kermit Citron days, when they was making fun of him, calling him pasty and stuff like that. Listen, he didn't become until he became that star. That's when everybody thing came on. Like,
did they sign him before he was a star?
No, listen, they wanted. Did he
sign him?
De La Hoya signs a lot of people.
Did he sign Canelo before he became a star? Before he became a star. I'm just trying to make a point. Before.
He signed Munguia too.
I got you. Let's stay on Canelo. Walk me through it. Did he sign Canelo before Canelo was an attraction?
Yeah.
And
okay, so what is the marketing appeal? The marketing appeal, yes, outside of that.
At first, it was like we could turn him into something. At first, it's
Trill, you missing it, bro. You missing it. Everybody don't get just signed because of skill. You've got to be marketable. De La Hoya was a good-looking guy. That's why he was so marketable.
That's the golden boy. But everybody is not sitting here glazing guys over their looks, Kev. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glazing? You saying I'm glazing? Bro, I know you're not saying I'm glazing. I'm just saying from a business perspective, there's a package. And part of the package is you got to be handsome.
Well, hold on. You turned this whole thing and made us come right back to the whole thing about
because I'm not gonna let you off the hook. You're not gonna leave. You trying to get away from the fact that they signed this white guy who looks Irish and he's a really good fighter. He's a really good fighter, but what gave him international status was that he's a white guy. It was marketable. We have a white Mexican who fights well, who fights really good. Salute Ryan Frazier, my man Ryan from the 6. Hey, shout out to Ryan. It's his grandma's birthday. It's 80th birthday. Say hi.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
His grandma.
Happy birthday.
What's good, Ryan? Salute. We talking about right now. We on the Davis versus Hernandez fight, but we talking about Munguia.
Oh, I seen it.
We also talking about business and what it takes to make it in this industry, and it's not always skill because. Obviously, skill only takes you so far. Like, you got to be marketable.
It does help if you know what I'm saying. You got the ladies that like you, like Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why do you think Ryan Garcia got big? Because my man good looking.
But there's other fighters who get that guys that is not that are the men. You know what I'm saying?
But we got to separate that. Kevin, I'm looking at what.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro. But do you heard Oscar De La Hoya said about Ryan yesterday?
Yeah, that he's got to take some time off.
Man, this is another excuse about this boy that he's gonna have a shoulder injury. Man, I'm so tired of this Ryan excuse.
I'm off Ryan Garcia. And I'm on Munguia's bumper right now, and until I slow down, I'm not getting out of traffic. Listen, my point is this. You're right. Look, there's the Ryan Garcias of the world, the De La Hoyas of the world. There's the Berlangas of the world. These guys. Yes, they're good fighters, but there is something, Canelos of the world, there is something that puts them over the edge than the guy like Crawford, who struggled for a very long time with promotion, like Top Rank, who said he doesn't sell. But it's not that he's not a good fighter, and he wasn't a good fighter. Number one, he just wasn't a talker, entertainer. Number two, he didn't have attraction.
I understand that, but at the same point in time, that if you every time you lose, you have the excuses, and you come out from the PED situation, it's always excuses by Ryan Garcia. All the rest of the stuff, the people that's saying I made a mistake, I would do better next time. When Canelo got popped, think about him. When he got popped after that, he went back on top. And that's what I agree. Everybody struggles and makes mistakes.
But listen, we're in Canelo's favor because we can say that he got popped and everything, but he went through the whole process of proving his innocence.
And he went back on top.
Yeah, and going to the restaurant, getting the meat and all that with the cooks and everything, and got in. So we got to give him that. We can't, you know what I'm saying? We can just say all this stuff, but he went and he proved his case that wasn't what was up.
And that's the thing about Canelo. He went back on top.
And he went back on top. Exactly.
Yes, and that's what greatness is all about. How you going to bounce back like a true champion? And that's what Canelo did.
You win. That's how you do
That's why I give a Canelo a pass.
Yeah, you win.
Because he still went back on top, and he don't make no excuses.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
But yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah,
he's a hard worker.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Kev, though. It does help if you want to sell tickets. It would be good if you can get the ladies and the casuals on your side. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with TC. Another thing with TC, though, you got to understand with certain people, I don't want to talk too much about it, but with certain things, you got to play the role. Either you got to be the villain or you got to be, the extra grateful. But yeah, So it's even those type of roles where you got to play when you're an African American fighter. You know what I'm saying? And Terrence Crawford, for those things, he doesn't play those roles. He doesn't play into the whole meteor thing as well, like other fighters would do. A lot of other fighters would chuck and jive for the cameras and do silly things to get the eyes on them, where other fighters won't go and do that way. They'll let their fighting do the talking for them. You know, and you can't get mad at that. You know.
So Crawford, it took a while for Crawford to get that, like, you know, that international, I won't say international, but that elite level status, as far as like star.
Hernandez for the victory.
Well, he didn't necessarily get it until he beat Spence and became a 2-time undisputed. That's when you saw his stardom rise.
Right after the Spence fight.
But exactly, this is why I say marketability is important when you're a fighter, because he could have been that star a while back if he would have had a role, but he doesn't do that, right? He's just a chill guy. But you know, you've got to market. This is a business, man, and every business has sales, marketing, and operations. Period.
And also, and also he did a lot of things business wise that it wasn't. Well, people didn't think was smart at the time. Like, for example, you know, all the smoke was over there at PBC for the welterweights. And while Earl was over there making a name for himself as being the guy that is beating all of the main welterweights, you know, TC was the one that was known for not beating the ones that had fanfare, you know, because all the real stars on welterweight was over there at PBC. And then when he re-signed again with Top Rank, people was like, what are you doing? You know, so that hurt him once again, you know, and so, you know, so I think TC, as far as business wise, that hurt him. And then I think, you know, the not willing to go out there and be in front of the camera also hurt him. But, you know, he got, you know, his praises after he beat Earl. Everybody, you know, started saying, hey, you know, even people that wasn't TC fans was like, I told you, TC is the man. You know,
I knew that TC was going to win that fight. He just has something special. He's got this dog in him. And I just knew, man. I mean, Spence to me seemed he didn't seem like he had the athleticism that Crawford had, right? And that's what to me won me over about Crawford. He just always found a way to win, and he didn't always fight the same way. I felt like Spence always fights the same way, come forward, overpower you. I didn't really like that. I like guys who have a lot more finesse in the ring, like a Mayweather or a Miguel Cotto on the later end of his career. Guys like that, right? Those are the type of guys that I like. So, you know, that's what
I went on record on Boxing Bros. I was 50-50 on the fight. I really honestly thought it was going to end up being a great fight and it was going to turn out to be a draw. I tried to change my predictions as soon as the fight started and I seen Earl in the dressing room. I tweeted out something like, something seems wrong with Earl. You know, I tweeted out that something seems wrong with Earl. And, you know, no excuses. You know, TC went out there and did what he did. But hey, that's it. This is boxing. Boxing is an unforgiving sport. You dig what I'm saying?
No, it is an unforgiving sport.
Yeah, if you're not 100%, don't step in the ring because nobody cares. Nobody cares. You never has stepped in the ring. I remember when everybody was saying that Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd. Everybody was losing their mind saying Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd. And then when he lost, you know what I'm saying? Pacquiao was saying, oh, my shoulder this, my shoulder that. And everybody was going. I said, that hurt it. To me, that hurted Pacquiao. By saying that, bringing up the shoulder injury and stuff like that. I was like, nobody cares. You shouldn't have fought. You should have postponed.
If you're not 100%, you guys, do not step in the ring. If that's the case with Manny Pacquiao, Kevin. If that's the case with Manny Pacquiao, then he should have took the fight. And then that's the case. You know, that was the biggest fight of the year. Exactly. The biggest fight in century. And all of a sudden, you want to come out with the excuse that you lost. It's okay.
But you can't guarantee that, Chase. You can't guarantee that you're going to be 100%. Like, if at some point you fall below 100%, you can't be like, well, I guess I'm just going to opt out of the fight. I mean, contract signed. We're only 3 weeks away.
Nobody's ever 100% going into a fight.
Exactly. You're not always 100%.
Unless someone get popped dirty, then we'll talk about it. But until then, Mayweather didn't get popped dirty. We all know that. It is what it is. Mayweather won the fight. Move on.
Yeah, exactly. I get what you're saying, Kev. Like, nobody's 100%, right? And sometimes you can't pull out the fight. But I definitely get what Chace is saying too. if the fight is done, don't say, "Oh, I lost this fight because my shoulder was injured." Oh, I would have, because it takes away from the whole fight. This was a huge fight that everybody. We could have ended up getting a rematch. But him making all these allegations after the fight, it kind of put a sour taste in people's mouth. He even got a lawsuit. Like, people were trying to sue Manny Pacquiao. Like, yo, he's saying that I put my house up, and now he's saying that he was injured.
And now the son Pacquiao put a lawsuit in it. Sure.
So it was crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, man.
And same thing. One more thing, Kev, if you don't mind.
I'm not gonna keep it long.
I'm not keeping it long. Same thing with Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk, and that's the biggest fight of the year last year. They fought twice, and that's two gentlemen I'm very happy of. Doesn't matter who win or lose, but at the same point in time, the first fight when Tyson Fury lost to Usyk, he said, "We're gonna let the judges give it to him because we're not gonna hand him the wrong way." Well, the reason why he said that because the war between Russia and Ukraine going on. That's what I'm saying. But that has nothing to do with boxing. Give Usyk credit. You lost. Give him the rematch, which you don't have to. But he did, and you lost twice. So you lost the same opponent twice. It's hard to explain.
I got you. I'm with you.
Moving. Just don't be a sore loser. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Coming back, the fight of the night, Caleb Plant's upcoming fight. Plant will be fighting Jose Armando Resendiz. This is happening at the Michelob ULTRA Arena, and this will be for the WBA Interim Super Middleweight title, which I'm not even really sure who has the full. Actually, Canelo has the full title at 168. So. Well, actually, no, because this is just the interim, so that means there's still a regular title, and then Canelo would have the full title. Do we know who has the interim title at 168? No. If not, I will. I'll be checking that right now. Actually,
and to be noted, you guys, the co-main event is about to be coming up. We got Jermall Charlo, who hasn't been fought in around in 2 years since December 2nd, when he fought Jose Benavidez. That he got the victory, and we got Thomas LaManna. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a good co-main event.
We got a lot of he got 39 wins, 5 losses. You know, he got 18 KOs, but he's also been knocked out 3 times.
And we got but this one everybody's looking forward to is Jermall Charlo. Like I said, who hasn't fought in 2 years. There's a lot of questions of this upcoming when he step into the ring with Thomas LaManna. The question is that is Jermall Charlo is the same fighter, even though he's went through a lot, especially his long brother. So it's a lot of questions when he step up to the ring. Can he be the same Jermall Charlo? Let's find out.
Let's see. So we got the ring. I'm checking right now, guys, with the WBA to see who's in that WBO ranking. WBA, I'm sorry. So let's see who we got. That's the WBC.
Hey, talk to me, big dog. If you think everybody is looking think that Jermall Charlo will lose, what's your reaction on that? If Jermall Charlo lose, what's your reaction on that?
If Jermall Charlo loses, they're gonna chop this up to inactivity. You know, they're gonna check this up to inactivity, and that's gonna be the situation with that.
And one thing, and I agree, about people who talk about Jermall Charlo is that his alcoholic problems, which it is, and that's what Earl Spence gets in trouble, and that's why he's struggling. He hasn't fought in 2.5 years as well.
But for the WBO, right? We was talking about their rankings.
So I'm on it right now. I don't see anybody who has the regular title, but Plant has the. Usually on the WBA there's the super champ and there's a regular champ. No, the WBA.
Oh, you said WBA.
Yeah, because the WBA has the Super World title, then they got a regular world title. Because remember, Boots just fought. What's his name? Stanionis. But Stanionis, I believe, was he was the regular champ, and then he got moved up to the full world champ. And then Ryan and Rolly just fought for the regular world. So WBA right now at 147, you got Rolly as the regular champ. You got Boots as the super champ. So that's what I was looking for at the 168-pound division. But I don't see that they have that.
Maybe the vacant.
Vacant. It might be vacant because right now
and Shiraz is gonna fight for it.
Now, this is what's key right here, right? Caleb Plant, right, defended his interim WBA title last time with McCumbee. Now we don't know this. We don't know if this is the second or the third defense. I believe this is the second defense. If he goes for a third defense, he might be in contention to be able to petition for a fight, a mandatory fight with Canelo Alvarez, which would now make it a rematch. And now Caleb Plant could fight for undisputed at 168. Does he have enough pull for this? Not really sure. I don't think so. But through politics and through how the rankings work, he could possibly petition, because I think there's only a certain amount of time before you can defend those titles and you become.
I hear what you're saying, Kev, but I don't even think that I think there's other things on his plate. Like if he can get past this fight, I think he's looking forward to fighting Charlo, and then after that, he wants to get in there with your guy, fellow TS member Edgar Berlanga.
Yeah, but it's not about what Canelo wants. It's about what
not
the
Canelo
rules say.
wants. I said what Plant wants.
Right, but it's also about what the rules say, and this is what I say. There's rules, and then there's how much play you got, right? How much power you got. Plant might not have enough power, but he could petition for, like, look at what Benavidez just did with Bivol. He was the interim champion at 175 WBC. What did he do? He petitioned for the fight with Bivol. Bivol didn't want the fight, so what did he do? He vacated it. Benavidez moves up from interim to what? To full status, right? So this is the play, right? Caleb Plant could petition for the fight, and if Canelo doesn't want the fight, what happens? He then has to vacate. This is exactly why we got the Canelo Skull fight, because Canelo did not want to fight Skull at the time, and he vacated. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mr. Yes, Charlo did move to 168 for this the Cornflake fight. Well, maybe not for the Cornflake fight, but because of weight.
Now, this is the fight that he was going to move to anyways. When he was supposed to move up to this weight. No, he left 160. He was supposed to move up to 168. This is going to be a good fight for as long as it lasts. I think, is this the young man that got sparked out by Laura in like the first round? I don't remember. I think, is this the young man who did? I gotta check. But yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good one.
I believe so.
I'm excited to see the return of Charlo on this one.
Yeah, a lot of questions surrounding Charlo right now. It's really sad to say, guys, because Charlo, of the two brothers, Charlo was actually on the higher trajectory, right? When it came to the two Charlos. Charlo was Jermall. Jermall, which is the older brother, who's at 168, had a higher repertoire in the industry. Remember, he knocked out J-Rock from Philadelphia, right? He was the more touted one. Jermall was still coming up, and we saw Jermall have a huge setback. He had personal problems. I believe, he had girlfriend problems. He had a mistress. He had some things go through. I'm not really, too sure exactly. Maybe, he was caught with some strippers in the back alley. I'm not really sure, but he's had a fall from grace, and Jermall Charlo has, stepped up and went undisputed. And so Jermall right now is on a comeback. We need to see, can you become the guy that you were at one time touted to be, that monster, that knockout artist, that skillful artist? Can he get back to top contention status at the 168-pound division? He's got Munguia, he's got Berlanga, he's got Plant. That Plant fight, it needs to happen because of the slap. They got beef in the streets. I'll say it again. They got beef in the streets. And
we remember what he did to Austin Trout, and we remember what he did to J-Rock. And then, it seemed like the something happened after the Derenchenko fight. It was like something happened after that. It was like the focus, and then I don't know if, because he didn't want to be in the same weight class as his brother, so he went to another weight class. When he moved to that one, then his brother moved there, he went to the next one. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like he was trying to, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it's the family dynamic, whatever was going on in his personal life, and and especially you know his devices that he was going to. But we can see when he went to the Montiel fight. After that fight, it was like he wasn't there. Especially when we seen him fighting Jose Benavidez Jr. He wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what's he gonna do? It's like he was going backwards, just like you said, Kev. So we're gonna see what he does in this fight.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm actually really upset that we never got the Crawford versus Charlo fight when Charlo was undisputed. That would have been historic. It would have been mega. It would have been the only time that we've got a 3-time undisputed. I mean, I can't believe what it would take a boxer, a professional, to go on a run to become 3-time undisputed.
Oh, my bad, Kevin. And that's the thing, you guys. You got these boxers that's been wasting their opportunities as well, not their careers, not just their careers, but their opportunities. This is what pissed me off, and this is what most people get upset with the Charlos, you know, especially the Charlos that had the belts both at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And they going through a lot, drinking alcohol. You know, if you have the belts and if you at the top, in the top of your game, stay at the top. You know what I'm saying? And don't lose focus. And that's the most problem in boxing, especially these boxers. You got these boxers losing focus.
Well, they said it's hard. What the Hagler said, it's hard to stay focused when you're waking up to silk sheets.
Exactly.
No, you know what I'm saying? So
Ryan, yes, Charlo is in the ring. Yes, shout out to Ryan.
So you got to shout out to Floyd. You know, keeping that same focus. Shout out to the other ones who was able to keep that same focus. You know what I'm saying? And still having all that money. And still knowing what the goal is, you dig?
You know what? Ryan brought something up, and Crawford missed that opportunity, but he's got a good chance this September. Yeah, but it's not necessarily as beautiful. Like if you would have fought, remember, Charlo was undisputed at one point. It would have been beautiful that the guy who just undisputed at 147, who had beef with Charlo. Y'all don't remember this?
That beef. That's what I said. That's what would have made it good.
When Crawford won that fight, he flexed on Charlo in the ring, right?
Yeah.
So there was beef in the streets, and we wanted to smoke. We wanted to see that, and we didn't get that fight. It doesn't have the same meaning now because Charlo lost to Canelo.
Yeah,
right?
Charlo, instead of giving us that fight with Crawford, which would have been a real
it would have been bigger.
He went for the bread.
Trill, watch, because it would have been now undisputed versus undisputed, 147 versus 154, and that's a smaller bridge to gap. You're talking about a guy who's now moving up 2 divisions to go undisputed. And if he beats Canelo and becomes 3-time undisputed, great, but we're not going to see him defend there because he doesn't have the body to fight anybody at 168. That's where we mess up at.
Yeah, definitely. The fight's about to start. It's finally him.
Charlo, you know, would have been great if Charlo. You remember Adrian Broner came out with Young Thug, lifestyle. Man, you remember that? That was, they literally have that as one of the best intros ever in boxing.
God, but you see what Charlo did on Touch 'Em Up, you guys? It looks like a little unfocused that he had.
None of these guys look in shape. I want to be honest with you. None of these guys look in shape. These guys look really bad.
He looks.
Kevin. But did you see what he touched? Did he touch him up?
Cornflake looks real soft around the midsection.
I mean, Charlo looks soft too, brother. I'm sorry.
But
it looked like he's been drinking a couple Michelobs himself.
He's not fully listened to the ref. Like that's what bothers me right now.
I also have noticed that Charlo's hairline has been pushed back since the last time we seen him fight. Charlo's hairline has definitely been pushed back since the last time we fought.
And like Floyd Schofield Sr. or Mama Floyd Schofield Jr. or I could say. Shit.
Yeah. Well, we got a classic fight here, white guy versus African American. I mean, you would think that What? It's a classic fight. When was the last time you see an African American in there with a white man?
Fucking Conor McGregor and Mayweather.
They're making it really crazy too because his name is Cornflake. This is crazy.
Exactly. This is there should have been more.
I'll never let a white boy beat me.
There should have been more promotion for this fight. This fight has, is definitely bridging the gap between the racial tension in our country right now.
He's still popping. He's getting the jab.
He's getting the jab.
Popped by Charlo.
Yeah, I think this is a good step-up fight. We've seen Charlo's last fight versus Benavidez Jr. Not a real 154-pounder. That was not a fight worth even discussing, simply for the fact that Junior has not fought at 154, and if he has, we don't know about it, and it's nothing to discuss. He's a 147 pounder, and he got knocked out by Crawford.
Both guys is trying to feel each other out, but Charlo is throwing that jab, even though it's like a little bit of a push jab, is making the nose of Cornflake really red right now. So he's landing.
Yeah, good point. We are seeing some redness around Cornflake's nose. But he does have lighter skin, so it would notice more than anybody else. I'm just letting the audience know. I'm putting some context on it.
He is in here. He knows what happens if he can. Sneaky little left hook in there. Left hook.
Yeah, we're seeing a slow pace. We're getting off to a slow start. It seems that Charlo is the stronger of the two at this point. So he's got that. He's popping out the jab really good. Yeah, he's popping out the jab. Let's talk about Cornflake. What do you guys know about Cornflake? What have you heard? He's been in the scene for a while. He's highly ranked in his sanctioned body.
I know. I remember him fighting Laura. I remember him getting stopped. I know he's been knocked out 3 times. But he does got some wins underneath his belt. He got 18 stoppages himself. He got 5 losses. But But that doesn't. You can mess around and have a resurgence in yourself. That don't mean that does have.
He does have a 9. He is on a 9 fight streak. As far as sanctioning bodies goes, he is in the top 10 he's 11 in the WBA. Let's see where he's at for WBC. I don't believe I see him in the WBC. Let's see where he's at with the IBF. If he's in the IBF,
I'm not familiar with this trainer. Who's the trainer in Charlo's corner? I'm surprised we don't got a Rodney Shields.
Oh yeah, we don't. Is that no? I don't. Is he the guy? Is that the guy from? No, we don't know who that is. That must be a new trainer. We don't know who that is.
He got his uncle in there.
It's probably his uncle because we don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't see LaManna anywhere else in the sanctioning bodies. Not WBO. We don't see him anywhere else. And as far as the ring is,
they just put him in this now. He just got ranked because he was fighting Charlo. But yeah.
He's not even in the ring. So this is a step up fight. This is a good test. He's on a 9 fight streak. I believe that Cornflake is also the owner of Star Promotions or Ring Star Promotions, which is obviously a boxing label, and so I believe that'll be tied to PBC. So
shout out to this is a good comeback fight though for Charlo.
It is.
He's been out for a while. And this is a guy who's been in there with some. He lost to some people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We we just hope to see more consistency out of Charlo. I mean, that's what we've been needing is more consistency, right? There's too many gaps.
He's still throwing that jab. He's still pushing the jab. A nice little block right there. Charlo still got his reflexes there. He's getting warmed up in there. Look out for the sneaky left hook from Charlo. I think that might put LaManna on his pockets. The sneaky left hook.
This is do or die for Cornflake. If he doesn't win this fight, it doesn't really hurt him, Trill, because we don't really expect much. The general audience doesn't know who Cornflake is, right? So if he loses this fight and goes back to a lower tier circuit, it doesn't really break him. We weren't really expecting him to come into this fight and win anyways. We just want to see Charlo and see what he's made of at this point.
Yeah, we want to see Charlo get a stoppage and hopefully he can move on to the fight with Plant. I'm looking at this fight right here with Cornflake. He's gonna start. Look, you can see the left side of his face already starting to get a little bruised.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Or the right side of his face, excuse me. The right side of his face. You look at his right eye. Oh, he just got hit with a clip with a nice right hand on the chin. But he's focused now. He's getting he's getting comfortable now. Charlo's starting to look like Charlo. He's starting to get comfortable in there.
No,
he's doing a 1-2.
So,
1-2. I guess this is Charlo's original trainer. So when he started boxing,
why would he go back to the original trainer? Was he not training with Ronnie Shields? Why would we go back?
Mm-hmm.
Was Ronnie Shields maybe not interested in training Charlo anymore?
Or maybe he was too busy at the time. Maybe he was too busy. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he looked at it like, you know, I got to see if you really focus. You know.
Possibly. I mean, that's possible. We don't like to see trainers, you know.
I know Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields got other fighters right there in that weight division, doesn't he? Or at 175, I think though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So on another news, this is, you know, Caleb Plant headlining the fight. Where do we go? I mean, personally, this is where I see if Charlo wins this fight, this still needs to be another fight. I mean, this is not, you know, we can't throw him into a higher tier fight even though he wins this one. We saw him win the Benavidez Jr. fight, but that didn't necessarily mean that he was ready for the next tier of fighting. I believe that he needs to win this fight, and then from this fight, we need another step up, possibly a B fighter, a top tier B fighter, to get the cobwebs off, to solidify some fundamentals and the technique, and then go into a bigger fight. I would like to see Charlo versus Berlanga. That is a fight that's been brewing. Berlanga's got a couple fights on the table. We've got the Munguia fight. We've got the Plant fight. We've got the Charlo fight that's brewing. There's a lot of opportunity in there, but we've got to get past Shiraz first. That's first and foremost. But when it comes to Plant, Plant said that he's down to fight Jake Paul next. Oh my goodness! Everybody wants that. Who gets? Let me ask you this. Now is like, who is the bread maker? Jake Paul or is it Canelo? Who gets more bread? Who gives you more bread? Jake Paul or Canelo? And you know what?
Hey, listen. Right now, hey, I can't. I'm not taking nothing away from Jake. Not only is Jake putting money in the pockets of the people that fight him, he's putting in the money in the pockets of his fighters that he promote. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's getting people money all across the board. So shout out to Jake. You know, but yeah, these guys they willing to fight Jake for that money. But you know, Caleb Plant, in the perfect world, we would want to see, you know, Charlo, you know, go in there with somebody else and maybe have Plant go in there and try to build up another fight. But I think that they're using this look, and this right here is over. He already dropped him.
He just dropped him.
Yes,
he just
did.
dropped Cornflake. Round 3, 1 minute and 48 seconds. He just dropped Cornflake.
Yes, he does.
And his eyes bloody.
And he's
his
cut.
His eyes bloody. And he's cut. Yep. This isn't going to make it 6 rounds. Not at this pace.
Yeah.
Not at this pace.
He's hurt.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Charlo's looking great. It just means that
he's already busted up. He's the eyes.
Yeah, this is what we wanted.
The left eye's already cut. The right eye's already swollen. The nose is red and puffy. This guy right now, he is thinking he looks like he's in pain every time he's fighting.
Yeah, he's out of his element. He
definitely is.
He's out of his element. Absolutely. They just broke it up. There was a tie-up. A lot of wincing coming from Cornflake in that, I believe, left eye. A lot of wincing. It's busted up. He
look at him. He's game. He's game. He's game though.
Look, Cornflake. Shout out to Cornflake is taunting Charlo at this point, egging him on to come on.
He's like, listen, if he's gonna go out, he want to get put on his shield. He's like, you know what?
Trill, the question is, who's got the better composure? And we're seeing the better composure coming from Charlo. He's sticking to the defense. He's sticking to the guard. The pace is at his pace. LaManna has been on the back foot this whole time. Absolutely, this whole time. He's not pressed to fight.
Definitely. Charlo, he's doing what he wanted there. He's being patient. To me, I think he could have definitely got him out of there this round, but I think he wants to get some rounds in. I think he wants to get some rounds in.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But shout out to Cornflake showing some heart. Look at him, and he's grilling them too.
Ryan said everybody wants that easy payday. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. That is true. So again, I think we got to make a point here. If he beats LaManna, then that doesn't necessarily mean that Charlo is back definitively. It just means that this was what we needed from him, right? We needed a tune-up fight. We needed him to get back into contention. We needed him to, show us that what he's got, because he looked depressed in his last fight. But here's what we got. Plant is eyeing the Jermall Charlo fight after this fight. So, seeing as how they're both in the rankings, does Plant take that fight after this? Does Charlo take the fight after this? I mean, is he ready for a Plant he's been in the circuit, he's stayed in the circuit, he's active, or do we get a tune-up fight? Do we get another B fight? I don't want to call it tune-up, Trill, but do we get another fight to shake a little bit more of the cobwebs off, to get used to the uncle training him, as you called it? Where do we go from here?
Now, I honestly believe that they're gonna probably try to throw these guys back. Shout out to Andre Durrell. I see him in the crowd. I see Rolly in the crowd. Anthony Durrell. Excuse me. I think that they're gonna in a perfect world, Kev, I'm with you. I think that he needs more time to to get ready for a Caleb Plant. But who's to say that this is a Caleb Plant who hasn't had, too many that needs to take a break or had too many wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? So I think that both guys, I think the money, these guys will probably fight each other next, depending on how everything is built up after these fights. I think, because I remember Charlo saying he wants to fight Plant next, and Plant's like, it's whatever. So I think the fight will happen, especially with these guys. This being the setup. This is actually the setup, putting them both these guys on the same card. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that they have the history where the slap heard around the world. You know what I'm saying? So
I think we need to define terms, though. I think you said a couple things, and I'd like to really break that down. You said that, is this a Plant that perhaps needs some time off? Well, he does get time off. He gets usually 6 months between fights, right? So he fought McCumbee. We saw we saw adversity in the fight. I mean, he had a bigger guy in there. He had a big puncher.
Not to cut you off, Kev, but when I want to tell you what I'm alluding to about the time off. Like 6 months sometimes is not enough time off, especially when you was fighting with the Canelo. You had a orbital bone injury, and then you came right back after that. You know what I'm saying? You keep fighting. Eventually, and you're fighting in the gym. Not only are you fighting in the ring, you're still fighting and sparring in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So it's still more wear and tear on your body. So I've been seeing since since after he knocked out Durrell, it seemed like it's not been the same Plant. It hasn't been the same Plant. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But I want to see this fight take place. Oh,
we got action. We've got action.
Yeah, that Charlo, he was just looking at his food. He was playing with his food instead of going in for the kill.
So going back to what you're saying, yeah, we haven't seen him knock out, but prior to the Andre Durrell fight, he wasn't knocking people out. He's not really a knockout fighter. Mm-hmm. They're few and far in between.
You're talking about skill-wise too.
Well, skill-wise, yeah, we saw the skill from McCumbee, but every fighder brings their adversity, right? McCumbee was bigger, like stronger. We saw that adversity with Benavidez. He had a lot of.
To me, it seems like, I don't know, like even the way he takes punches now, it's just not the same for me. So I don't know, like going into this fight with Charlo, even though he got the long layoff, you know what I'm saying? Like, how long would it last? That was a knockdown. His knee touched.
Yeah, that was a knockdown. Touched. Absolutely.
It looked like
absolutely.
It looked like it's straight. No, it touched right there. It touched.
Yeah, that was a knockdown.
Touched. It definitely touched.
That was a knockdown, my friends. What is going on? My goodness.
Yeah, again, as long as they got it right. But see, the longer this fight goes, you don't want to give this kid no confidence. And that's the thing with Plant. I think Plant will be sensational at first, but then as the fight goes on, but we shall see. We shall see. But I'm looking forward to the fight when the fight takes place. But talking about this fight, it's good to see Charlo in the ring. This guy's not putting up much of a test. He's not bringing nothing that no fire to Charlo. But it's good to see Charlo back in the ring, and he's getting some rounds in. This guy is basically a good punching bag who talks crap.
Yeah, I mean, he's not showing any real skills right now, Cornflake, but again, he's not really top 10 in the ring. He's not really we don't really know too many of the people that LaManna has fought. He just put him down. He just put him down. Round 5, 1 minute 48 seconds. I don't see this going out of this. They're gonna stop the fight. It's not stopped yet, but it's coming. It's coming. He is very Cornflake is determined, but he's not. He just doesn't have the skill to keep up with the repertoire that Charlo has.
And you can just tell that Charlo still got that pop because even as soon as he hits him, he's opening this kid up. He's swelling him up. He still got that pop. He still got that power.
Absolutely. Let's see. So we're round 5. We have a minute left. LaManna shaking, jiggling the booty. He's shaking them hips like Shakira. Not really sure what that has to do with the fight, but he's making it entertaining.
Look at him.
He's taunting. He's taunting in there.
He's taunting.
I believe that Cornflake is I think he's making the best of this fight. This is the biggest stage that he's been on with a big name fighter. He's probably not going to get this chance again. He's on the ground again. It's 35 seconds left. That was a slip. That was he
wants somebody to give him another call back for getting beat up. But he hasn't.
Yeah, I believe.
He hasn't did enough work. He hasn't even landed a good significant punch, so we could be like, okay, let's see him again. But he has been taunting. He's been doing that. He's been talking.
Yeah, he hasn't necessarily done a whole lot. Again, I think he's soaking up the moment. We probably won't see him on this stage ever again.
One shot. He landed.
He just landed a right hand on Charlo. Whoa.
Right on cue. Right on cue.
Whoa. LaManna, what does LaManna do? Okay. Oh, did they ring the bell? Okay, got you. Wow.
Right on cue.
This is getting entertaining.
He's hurt.
Is getting very entertaining, folks.
He's hurt. LaManna's hurt. He turned his back. He's
I think his spirit is broken. I think his spirit might be broken.
He's hurt. He's taking too much punches. He's taking too much.
Yeah, I think
You need to stop this fight.
I don't know that we need to stop this fight. I think that we need to keep going.
That body language, I didn't like that at the end of that round.
Well, he's not. His body doesn't look good to start with, but
right there, right there.
Trill don't like my sneak disses. He don't like them sneak disses. Yeah, he's really upset that he hit the canvas twice with his glove, signaling that he's upset that he went down. But
that's just
I'm surprised
that he's seen on TV.
I'm surprised that LaManna is not putting up a better fight. I mean, this is literally a do or die situation for his career. He really needs this fight.
Look, they trying to give him every
Team
out.
Snowflake, Team Cornflake. The doctor's looking at Cornflake. The doctor's talking to the referee. They are.
Yeah, he was the way he ended.
Doctor recommendation to stop the fight.
The way he.
Wow.
See, and Charlo wanted the knockout. He wanted the knockout, but the doctor stopped the fight. Too much punishment.
I don't know why the doctor told him to stop the fight.
No, the way he ended that round, it was on him. It was his fault. It was his fault.
But it's a doctor recommendation, which means he was looking at him his health and.
This kid LaManna, it's how he ended the round. It was how he ended the round.
I don't. Well, I did tell you guys this wasn't going to go past 6. I mean, and it ended right before the
Yeah.
6th round. I don't. I think this was a premature stoppage. I believe this is a premature stoppage. Yeah, I believe this is a premature stoppage.
Listen, they just didn't want this kid to keep on their watch. They didn't want this to go down on their watch. This kid was just getting hit. He wasn't putting up nothing. He just got beat up for 6 rounds. He just got beat up for 6 rounds. He landed one significant punch out of the whole six rounds. He was getting beat up, and how he ended that round was scary. He ended up doing like a little shimmy and then turning his back and walking away. That
he was definitely twerking for the Turk.
As soon as you turn your back, the round was over. As soon as you turn your back,
he was twerking for the Turk.
You know what I'm saying? So when he turned his back, the ref called the doctor over. He didn't even call the corner over. He called the doctor over.
Yeah. Well, that fight is over. Charlo moves on. He is now 2-0 in his last 2 fights.
Look, it's the belt. What you was talking about? What were you talking about? What belt was the WBA? You were saying because they seem like
but that was for the Hernandez fight.
It seems like they're holding the belt right there.
I don't see it. I might be lagging. So,
yeah, it's the WBA belt.
Well, hold on. No, that's probably. That is a WBA belt. Let's see what kind of. Maybe that's the international belt though.
That's the regular.
Is it? We need to see what this. I'll check right now. Actually, I can't even check BoxRec because they removed it.
It's probably the Interim.
No, I can't because Plant has it.
Good.
Yeah, it can't because Plant has it.
So it's the WBO joint.
No, that's a WBA belt, but again, it could be the international version. It's the regional one. I'd like to see a little bit more athleticism from Charlo. He did seem a little slow, honestly. He didn't really seem too athletic. He didn't seem as sharp as we've seen him in the past. And I don't know if it's the weight.
No, I mean, I think it's it's the layoff, but he's still every time he hit him. I don't know why he fronting, man. You fronting like you was in the fight.
He's just, well, this is the biggest fight he's ever had, and it's going to be the biggest fight he's ever going to get. I mean, this is it.
He was in there.
You're on the biggest stage of your life.
He was just going to get.
But Lara's not Charlo. I mean,
I think they saved his life.
The average person knows.
They saved his life. They saved this man's life.
I don't think he was hit. I don't think it was that bad. He was getting beat up, but he wasn't getting,
We're gonna have to find out what happened.
He wasn't on death row in there with Charlo.
Shout out to Guzman. He got some people with him.
Oh, he's in there with Guzman? Hold on. Let's see what hold on. We don't. What belt is that, Trill?
That's his old belt. That must be his old belt.
No, that's a WBA belt, but we don't know what version of that is. Oh, let's see here. Yep, like I said, it's the WBA Continental America Super Middleweight title, so it is a regional title. It's the Continental title.
I hope he didn't pay for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have paid for that. But I know according to the WBO, if you defend the Continental title a couple times, it puts you in contention for a mandatory spot. So it might do him some good. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, politics. All right, so he's thanking a few people.
Okay, we're talking about him and Michelob. Let's see what he got.
Damn, Charlo, goodness gracious. So we got the twins in there. They did ask him about the plant fight, and he said that he was in a dark place and that he's now out of that dark place, and he was really more just focused on getting this fight out the way, and they know where he's at.
I think that was beautiful. Shout out to the brothers. It's good seeing them back together, smiling.
Yeah.
This is what I was wanting to see. Shout out to Sam. Sam's in there with them. You know what I mean? It's good to see that the brothers is back. And like he said, it was a lot of power what he said in that talk. And I want to talk a little bit about that, what he was talking about. Yeah, he said he wants to get in there with Plant next. He wanted to get his lick back after getting slapped. That's fine and dandy. But I was going off of the body language, and you could tell he was very emotional in there. It felt good to be back. He was choked up with emotion, being back in the ring. And it's a lot. People forget that boxing is a lonely sport,
Yeah.
And you're in there with yourself, and you're the only one in there that's getting punched in the face. There's nobody else in there. You know what I'm saying? You're the only one in there that's getting punched in the face. You're the only one in there doing the miles and doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, then you got to deal with some bozos that's sitting on the couch that have never threw a punch before. You know what I'm saying? Criticizing you and talking down on you after you don't put your life on the line every time you step into that ring. And then on top of that, life be lifing. These people got, how we be going through stress? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They go through stress too. They got a life too outside of that. So you can see all that coming. So it's good to see him back. And hopefully, like you said, boxing, is going to save his life, because that's what boxing does for a lot of people, because of that focus and stuff like that. And it's good to see that he got his brother there with him. That's dope, And he said that he credited his brother for being the one that got him off that couch and got him back in the gym and telling him, you who you are, So that was good to see.
Yeah.
That was good to see.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, I saw a lot of. I thought he was almost going to cry in there. I mean,
definitely. He was choked up.
Yeah, he was choked up. I don't really like to see that. I don't want to see you crying like that, because that tells me that you still have a lot of things to fight. I'm not really sure that he's still in the right mindset. Like, he doesn't have the killer mindset. I want the 154-pound Charlo back, or the 160 Charlo back that was a killer, that wasn't going through emotional problems. I want you back. I want you sharp. I want you. That's what I want. That guy's gonna be.
Listen, special. I don't mind it, as long as he handles business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm used to my favorite fighters when they get a good victory, or when people thought that they was gonna lose, they cry in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
That's different though, Trill. I
remember when Pretty Boy Floyd, you know what I'm saying, beat Interim Gotti, and he was crying in the ring, and people made fun of Floyd for it. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, nah, you don't know what these fighters go through. Look, Kev, people don't know what these fighters go through. And then this is like an outlet for them. So a lot of this stuff is emotional. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you, but there's different emotions, and that was
wondering why I think it was the what fight was he was in? And people was wondering why Canelo seemed emotional after this fight. You know what I'm saying? With this dude, I forgot what it was. And to come to find out, it's because these guys kidnapped his brother. So in the midst of him trying to organize and getting his brother back, he had to go in here and fight.
I think it was the Angulo fight. They didn't actually return his son, or not his son, but I'm sorry, his brother, until the night of the fight. Like, literally, he's gonna go into the ring, and they had just got the ransom money, and they let his brother go. So yes, but I also believe that there's difference in emotions from what Mayweather won, which is, I put it on this hard work. I didn't have emotional issues going on, to where Charlo he's dealing with depression, he's dealing with anxiety, he's dealing with real emotional mental health issues. I'm talking about mental health issues. He's still dealing with mental health issues. That's the difference. Is I don't want a Charlo with mental health issues. I want a Charlo that's clear,
no, either. But I feel like him being emotional at the end, that could have been his way of shedding. I don't look at it as necessary as a bad thing. It could be a good thing.
We've seen Danny Garcia go through the same thing, and when he cried, it was a depression cry. And when you go in there, with that on your shoulders, I think it does you're just not at your pinnacle. You're not at your best when you have that on your shoulders. And so I'm telling you right now, if he continues to have these mental health issues throughout these throughout his career at 168, we're not going to see the same guy that was fighting at 154, knocking out J-Rock, or the 160-pound guy, the 160-pound fighter. We're going to see a slower, a sluggish Jermall Charlo.
Well, I'm sitting here viewing Manny Pacquiao right now with the Aztec warrior Barrios. You know what I'm saying? It's Pacquiao looking really old. I never thought like I was seeing like he looked really old. I mean, he's still Pacquiao. I guess we all wish the best. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what makes him look old? Let's start. What makes him look old? I don't know. Because according to you, looks don't matter. According to you, looks don't matter. So
now he's looking real old to me right now in the face. He looks like the old Asian guy.
Well, it's probably because he doesn't have his eyebrows done. I mean, he's got no eyebrows.
Yeah, that's probably one of the issues. Man, I do my dry cleaning, man. So I don't even know. He look like, you know what I mean?
You got Asians doing your dry cleaning?
Yeah, why? They do the best.
I don't know. My assistant is Filipino, so I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? They're the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Resendiz, we don't really know a whole lot about Resendiz. But again, this is another fight where we're expecting Plant to win. It's a stay busy fight to defend the WBA interim. He is being trained by, gosh, what's this fight? That's Andy Ruiz's former trainer. Manny Robles is training Resendiz. This is a stay busy fight for Plant. Of course, we don't really know where Plant goes from here. Where do you believe that he goes from here? Because he is eyeing that Charlo fight. He did get dropped by McCumbee, but came back to win. He's got a heart of a warrior. The chin is still questionable.
Charlo.
Plant may not be elite level, but he makes entertaining fights. And so where does he go from here?
I see Charlo.
We've got to talk about that. I don't think it should be Charlo though. Why should it be Charlo?
Because they got because of the slap heard around the world, Kev.
Yeah, but that's not a good fight for Charlo off of a tune-up fight. That's not a good fight. We need another fight.
I get what you're saying, and I agree with you, Kev. But we're talking about they're in the business of making money, Kev. They're in the business of making money and with sales. This ain't the time where they could put them with these fights. Remember when PBC was getting in trouble for doing exactly what you saying they should be doing, Kev? You know what I'm saying? Remember when they were doing that and people was giving them crap for that? They're not in here to do that no more. They're going to sell the Charlo and the Plant fight. This is what they're here.
Okay, and if Charlo loses, then what happens?
You mean if Plant loses?
If Charlo loses.
Against Plant?
Yeah.
But listen, then Plant goes on to Belinga. No. This is what happens. Plant goes on to Belinga, right? And then Charlo goes on to Munguia, or he goes on to Montgomery.
Yeah, but this is not, brother. If Charlo fights Plant, he's coming off of a layoff. He's coming off of a tune-up. And if he loses, we're gonna be like, we kind of expected it. He's been on a big layoff.
Exactly.
We don't really know where he's at mentality.
Everything what we're saying, I agree with you, Kev. But the public don't care about that. If we go on Twitter right now, which is now called X, we go in there right now. There's going to be people that's calling for that fight next. They're not calling for Charlo to get a tune-up fight or Plant to go and fight. They want these guys to be in there with each other next. You know what I'm saying?
On that point, you are right. I just don't think it's the right move. I think we need to give Charlo. Man, let's give Charlo another fight.
This is the perfect time to get Plant if I was Charlo.
Why?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because right now, you know what I'm saying? The punch resistance hasn't been there for me. For Caleb.
Stop! I know you. Stop.
Not for this. He's getting this money. He's building these homes. He's bringing in another child. Him and his wife, they're happy. This is what happened. If you remember what happened with my man, what was his name? Who's commentating on the fight. I remember seeing him when he was talking about buying the house and he had his baby and he went out and got knocked out by Johnny Gonzalez after he'd been on the tour in the second round. So it happens in the sport of boxing, man. You get to,
No, over and over again, we've seen that Plant has the mentality where it doesn't matter when it comes to fight. The distractions are gone. He's locked in. I don't think that this is a soft touch. We know what to expect from Plant. We know not to expect knockouts. We expect a defensive fighter on the back foot and in multiple combinations. That's what we expect. We do not put in Charlo with Plant because realistically, the real fans are going to know that this is just not, we're not going to give him credit for that. So let's see Charlo. Let's get Charlo another fight really quick. Let's get him back in there. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying it's what should happen. We need to see him with a higher B tier fighter, and then from there we go for the Plant fight.
Yeah, it's what should happen, but it's not gonna happen. This is the gladiator sport. Everybody is like they got they're chopping their mouth at the this with they want the big fights back to back to back. There's no more tune-ups and no more that. They don't want that no more. They want the big fights now. They spoil now. They seen everybody getting the big. They want all of them. They don't want no tune-ups now.
It takes two people.
It's Mario
to fight,
Lopez.
And if Charlo doesn't, yeah.
I thought Caleb Plant was fighting Mario Lopez real quick. He looked like Mario Lopez.
It takes two people to fight, and Charlo didn't seem like he wanted to smoke. They asked him about the other fights. He said they know where I'm at. He didn't call out any names. He didn't show any aggression. He didn't show any dog. He said, no, he didn't. What did he say?
He said, I gotta get that leg back.
Well, he did. He didn't drop names, but you're right. He did say that, but he said they know where I'm at.
He said we talking about with Plant. He said, yep, that's next. I gotta get my leg back. But he was talking about everybody else.
Let's see if he's really gonna take that fight.
I think he will. I think he will. I think the
money.
Let's
see if he's gonna take that fight. Because I don't believe that he's going to take that fight next.
You don't think he'll take the fight?
Not next. He knows. Brother, did you see the slap? The slap was so hard they heard it in South Sudan.
Who would you want to see Charlo in there next with? If you could pick anybody.
Great question. I mean, are we talking about what kind of fight? Is this a B tier fight or what kind of fight?
No, you was talking about you would love to see him in a fight before he gets in there with Plant. What name would you think of?
Srirachi.
But
Srirachi, no, he's not. He's not busy. He just fought Munguia, so he's available.
Now they're gonna end up doing that again.
Okay.
They're gonna be doing that again.
Put him in there with Skull. Let's see how he can handle Skull. Put him in there with Pacheco.
Nah, before a Plant?
Why not? Pacheco's not dangerous.
Nah, if anybody, I would put him, but nobody's gonna put him in there with Pacheco because they don't want to mess up his career. He got his own, you know what I'm saying? Own thing he's doing. So I think they'll put him in. If anybody, maybe Trevor, because they both.
That's a good one. That is a good one. And then now we can see how he favors with Trevor versus how Plant. You're right, common opponent. Yep, that's a great barometer right there. Phenomenal barometer. Yeah, absolutely.
I can see that. But if they go,
if not, put him in there with Billy Joe. He coming down to 168. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Billy, poor Billy Joe. But now Caleb
Billy said he coming down.
Caleb Plant, man, that's my guy, man.
Caleb Plant is phenomenal.
Nah,
Revenge tour.
He's a good.
Yeah, it's sad that he's not embraced by the American people as much, and it's really sad because he is a former world champion. He's a very skilled fighter.
He doesn't. See, here's the thing we was talking about is how you market yourself. He don't market himself like like
a white guy.
Yes, I didn't want to say Kevin. I'll let you say it if I say it.
Yeah, he doesn't market himself like a white guy. Like Trevor McCumbee is a phenomenal.
Exactly.
Like Trevor McCumbee will get the average American behind him because he's a Trump supporter. He embraces that.
If he marketed himself like McCumbee, he would have more more fans.
He's too urban. That's the thing. He's too urban. He's not country enough. McCumbee is country. He's got the stash. He's got the mullet. He's got the hat.
Yeah, Caleb Plant is he was like it's always that one family that is grew up in the hood.
Yeah, he's too hood. That's the thing. He's too urban.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like
that's what it is.
And the choice of women. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, she's not white. I mean, what is she?
Exactly. Yeah, he don't got a blonde. He need a blonde hair, blue eye.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. He didn't get a blonde, a hot blonde. Mm. No, you're right. I mean, and his wife is Jordan Sparks, but she doesn't really have a lot of. It's not like he, married a girl who's got a like a Kim Kardashian and got a big business or something like that. Or that's the thing too. Well, they're doing the intros right now, so we're waiting for the fight to start.
Yeah, while we're waiting for that, I want to get y'all guys' opinion on the Manny Pacquiao. We just seen Manny Pacquiao in Barrios, and they had put out the whole card, saying that it was gonna be a phenomenal card. They got Pitbull Cruz on there. They had some other people on there as well. Yeah. So this fight coming up with Barrios, do you think Manny Pacquiao and his team, they're thinking that this is the easier route to a belt?
Not necessarily. I believe that Brian Norman and Boots are tied up. I mean, Boots just came off of a fight, so he's not getting ready to get back into it. Brian Norman has that fight with Jin Sasaki out in Japan, so we're waiting for that. Them two have smoke, so they got to get that fight. Manny Pacquiao's not going to interrupt that. So the next fight is Barrios, right? That's the fight that's on the table, and that's the only thing left that's on the table to take. So Barrios is not going to not take that fight because he didn't want the Brian Norman fight. He didn't want to unify with Boots. So yeah, well, I'll take a legend and get the payday because I don't know that we expect Barrios to win.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, Barrios is probably trying to look at it. What's going to bring in the most paper?
Yeah, of course. Because if he was looking for legacy, he would have unified with the other two.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, what's stopping Boots and Brian Norman Jr.?
Yeah.
But remember, fellas, Boots had a hard time make the weight, so he needs to make the weight.
He said he's fine, brother. He said he's good. He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he's good.
See.
We'll see. Like that.
Yeah,
I'm going off what he said.
That was into his what you were saying, Chase. That was because he had to do the whole IBF thing. But since now that they're fighting for unification, he doesn't have to make that 10 pounds inside the IBF rules anymore.
I don't care what. I don't care what people say about weight bully or this or another. As long as you make the weight, you still can fight. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, he don't have to worry about that 10-pound weight clause now. So that's what he was talking about, that as far as the 10-pound weight clause was an issue when he was doing the IBF rules. But during the unification, that chumps all the IBF rules, so they don't have to worry about that. So, yes, and that's why he looked good in that Stony Otis fight. He didn't look drained. He didn't look, sick, and probably had a better performance than when he did against Karen. So will we see him in there with Brian Norman? He probably will, be able to, do his thing. But I think that would be an exciting fight, him and Brian Norman Jr.
Yes, but Boots has more experience than Brian Norman. So if I was Norman, not only to focus on this fight, you got a lot to tools to make tools to order to fight Boots, because Boots fight is no joke, especially before you go up to 154. Excuse me. That's his goal: become undisputed or unified, then go to 154.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, go ahead.
I'm looking at the start of this fight right now. Plant, is starting looking sharp like he always do. He's creating the distance right off the back.
Focus. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Resendiz is in the high guard.
And he looks like the bigger guy in there.
Thing about Caleb Plant is what I love is he stayed focused and locked in. Like, for example, my favorite part, even though he lost, is the Canelo besides Anthony Rarell. Well, when he gets against Darrell, that was my favorite part against Caleb Plant. But when he faced Canelo, right, he was winning the fight, but he just made a huge mistake. And that's all Caleb Plant do is just make sure you might make the same mistake like you when you fought Canelo.
He didn't believe in himself when he fought Canelo. You could tell because he was asking him questions. Am I good? Am I good? He was looking for validation.
Yeah. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to what you're just saying, brother. And that's what Canelo keep bragging about, with Benavidez. Benavidez didn't do shit, didn't bring nothing to the table. He didn't even knock out Caleb Plant. I did. So
you know what I'm saying? He's looking for validation in that fight. And then shout out to Caleb Plant, though. Caleb Plant, excuse me. Because there's one thing that he does do. He does come to fight, and he does come out and he and puts it all out on the line. He knows.
He always seems focused.
Yeah,
he emotionally.
He looks like he's the bigger guy in this fight, though. He looks like he's the bigger guy. But he's not.
He certainly looks taller.
He doesn't look. He's not trying to be stupid.
Well, we'll see, because we've seen Caleb Plant have stamina issues towards the later ends of the round. Rounds 9 through 12. So we'll see how good he can keep the stamina up. I mean, I would believe that after a while you would fix that in camp, but that just always seems to be, a
and it's also the guys that he's fighting that bring certain things out. Like good pressure fighters, and like Benavidez, where that was shown, and then with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? They knew what it was, where he was doing a lot of movement early. These guys was able to hit him to the body and hit him to the arms and stuff like that, and to slow them down later. Those also what helped him out, because in the McCrumbie fight, he didn't slow her. He actually got better. That's why he was able to take out McCrumbie later on in that fight.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on there. I'm with you on there.
But yeah, this was a fill out round. Shout out to Caleb Plant. He got on the Jordan.
Want to know Caleb?
Want to know Caleb right now? Certainly a 10-9 round.
Shout out, when did his dad become this #1 head trainer in the corner?
Yeah, that's interesting. So we do have a fight next weekend coming up. Keyshawn Davis versus De Los Santos. De Los Santos, former opponent with Shakur Stevenson.
We're gonna be locked in for that one. So make
sure we will be also live for that.
Yes, and that's why I'm looking forward to it. But at the same point in time, we got a lot of questions for De Los Santos, because he hasn't fought since Shakur Stevenson. And that's the thing. That was 2 years. That's another fighter who hasn't fought in 2 years. So we got a lot of questions for Edward De Los Santos when he lead up to the fight against Keyshawn Davis for another title shot. It's the last 2 fights that he's have a title shot. And like I said, he hasn't fought for 2 years, so he get another title shot. But they go like Keyshawn Davis, he is a real businessman. That's his nickname is right there. So I'm looking forward to that fight. But like I said, we have a lot of questions about Edward De Los Santos. Go, yeah.
Let me ask you, Chase, since you brought it up, man. Do you think, since we have these questions about Edward De Los Santos, you brought up a good point too. It has been 2 years since he has fought, right?
Yes, for the vacate WBC title. When Devin Haney, my man Devin Haney, released that title because he's at 140, they became a WBC champion, and then all of a sudden he released it for the Shakur Stevenson, and then Shakur De Los Santos fought for the title. Unfortunately, it's not impressive for Shakur Stevenson, but he got it done. That's what I like about Shakur, even though he's not impressive win, but he got it done and get the job done for the vacate WBC title.
Here's the question for you: does Keyshawn get credit for beating Edward De Los Santos off of the 2-year layoff? Because people are going to be saying, oh, since these guys got beef now, you know, I guess Keyshawn and Shakur and all of them. They
don't got beef. How you, bro? They play Call of Duty together.
I know, but now because this is what happens when the money gets
media.
Involved.
Well, the media and the public is doing that. That's not Shakur. That's big bro, little bro.
Look. And this is what happened. The public, the media, the money gets involved. And next thing you know, these guys are setting up fights and talking about they want to fight each other. Same thing happened with Floyd. Same thing happened with Floyd and Zab. Same thing happens. There's no friends in boxing. So now I want to ask you, Chase, do you think he gets credit if he stops De Los Santos? Does he get credit for this win?
Well, I don't know, because this is a hard, tough question. Because like I said, especially we hasn't fought in a year or 2 years. Because this is my problem when the fighters hasn't fought in a year or 2 years. If you haven't fought in a year or a long layoff for 2 years or more years in layoff, then if you don't get the job done, then that's affecting your ability. Let me give you a great example. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, they both have criticized. I disagree with a lot of people about Devin Haney performance, even though he throws the less punches. But at the same time, Jose Ramirez, two things about Jose Ramirez. He fought the same style before he fought Devin Haney. That's number one. Number two, he has the best trainer. And he came from the trainer of the year, one of the all-time greats to ever do it, Robert Garcia. What I don't understand is some people did criticize him. What I know most people don't understand is why people don't criticize Jose Ramirez, fought the same style, and Robert Garcia gave him the wrong plan, which he did give him the wrong plan. And that's why Devin won all the rounds. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia, even though he came from a year of suspension, but at the same time, this is no excuse. And I'm not taking away. I'm not being a hater. Rolly, congrats to Rolly that he beat Ryan, but I'm just want to say this, and I don't want to be a hater, but he's not that guy. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. And the reason why he's not that guy because he hasn't beat an elite fighter. And all I want from one more thing. All I want is Rolly, who is never his opponent is, if he is that guy, he is a rematch with Pitbull Cruz if he can. But unfortunately, Pitbull Cruz went down to 135. Because he knows the weight 140 is too hard for him, even though he won the world title and he beat Rolly. Or Rolly needs to fight any elite fighter that he can handle. That's what I want from Rolly, if he's that type of guy. Go.
Now, shout out
Rolly
to
is definitely that guy.
Yeah,
well, we'll see.
You said before we get in, shout out to Rolly. I always got love for Rolly because, Rolly's one of those guys to me that I feel like is learning on the job. And people never gave him credit for it. It takes a lot. With all these short fights, he was in there to go and become champion. And, it helped that he had Mayweather and stuff like that. But this man was learning on the job. He was learning. He didn't come from no extensive amateur program. He started boxing late. And this is what you get. And shout out to Rolly.
He came from Cuba. You know what I'm saying? But he's even though he's American, he's half American, half Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I like about Rolly is that he showed up to that fight. He proved everybody wrong. I'm gonna give full credit that he beat Ryan, even though Ryan came from your suspension. But at the same time, Ryan was a favor, and everybody think Ryan is gonna knock him out. But he proved everybody wrong. That's what I like about Rolly. Yeah, but one thing one more thing. I'm sorry, but one thing that makes me so funny is Rolly throw the less punches, but he was most productive the whole fight. That's what I love about Rolly. So that's
we
a good
can
thing.
say he was certainly more productive. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just
Shout out to Caleb Plant in this fight, man. He is actually swimming
He's so
without
focused.
getting wet.
He's so focused. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
He's swimming
That's what I
without
love
getting
about
wet.
Caleb Plant, man. This is why he is the main event, especially instead of Jermall Charlo. Even though he came from 2 years off, I'm glad Caleb Plant is the main event. He showed more focus and more productive. I want to see him to get another title shot after this fight. This dude is more focused and show.
Nah, he's in there sunning dude. This is like your little homie, and you teach him some things in the gym. Like, this is what he's doing right now. He's sunning him right now. This ain't.
Resendiz disrespectfully doesn't have the skill to keep up with Plant. I mean, this is what we saw.
Not at all. I just seem like Plant's having fun. He's doing certain things that you know what I mean.
Yeah,
yes,
round
3. Let him throw more punches to you.
Look, he got his timing. He got his timing down. Plant got his timing down 100%. He knows when to turn them. He knows when to duck under the shots. He's just going to this kid's body. Good thing that this kid is in shape. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Resendiz has more of a Mexican style. He's a come forward fighter. He's got the high guard up. He's trying to find his range with the jab, but he just landed on Plant.
Made Plant smile.
Yeah. The only way Resendiz wins this fight is if Plant doesn't move. I mean, the minute he gets stationary, he's susceptible to what Resendiz has. But if he could stay on the move and show us the feet skill or skill of the feet, then obviously we can coast to a win here.
Plant got hit.
He just landed a right hand, but Resendiz landed a right hand. Wow. Okay, we're seeing a big comeback right now. We are seeing a big comeback.
A little bit.
Wow. All right, this is good. Resendiz is definitely putting up a fight, but this is what I'm saying.
He got Plant mad. He got Plant mad. Now Plant firing back. See, Plant was firing. Plant was playing, and then he got hit, and now he's mad.
Well, he's got to get back on his feet. He's got to move. He's got to, jab, throw the right hand, and he's got to get out of range. I mean, that's what we know Plant for. He's sweet hands Plant, but he's also got sweet feet. So we need to see that.
One thing I love about Caleb Plant is when he stay focused. When you talk about revenge tour, he owned his word. What he says, a revenge tour. That's what I love about it. I love about that mindset of Caleb Plant. Shout out to Caleb Plant, man, and that's why he's winning.
He definitely has that fighter mentality, and he definitely lives a fighter's lifestyle and stuff like that.
And he came from the hillbillies, but he still can fight. As long as you can fight, you can fight.
Yeah, you can't deny that with Plant. The boy can fight. The boy can fight.
I just saw somebody say that Caleb Plant beat Terrence Crawford.
I'm looking forward to that fight for the biggest fight of the year, man. Hopefully, God willing, it will be at the Raiders Stadium. But it's the huge problem. They're gonna move it to the other stadium arena, but hopefully they stay back to the Raiders Stadium, Legion Stadium, for the biggest fight of the year. If that happens, that will be the first ever boxing match in Raiders and Legion Stadium history. That's gonna be
I saw somebody say that that Plant beats Charlo and Terrence Crawford.
Well, here's the reason why people saying that. The reason why I said that because I do agree with them because Caleb Plant is that guy. He can focus right now. I'm watching him right now. That's why he's winning. He stay focused and stay locked in. That's what I love about Caleb Plant. On his word. But right now, Berlanga needs to focus on his hometown fight, and let's see what he could do. Charlo, he got it done. But let me ask you a question about Charlo. Do you think he's impressive today?
Charlo, well, I wouldn't say impress. I would say he did exactly what he was supposed to do and what we expected him to do against a lower tier fighter like LaManna. He got the job done. Yeah, of course he got the job done. But that's
just like I told you about Devin Haney. Even though it's not that impressive, equivalent. Even though I disagree with him, he got it done. Once he got it done, that's all that matters.
But Haney is in a different place than Charlo is. You're talking about a guy who's off a layoff, who his last 2 fights have been comeback fights. Devin Haney is in a different place. Yes. So we expected more out of Devin Haney. He needed to deliver more. Charlo did exactly what we thought a guy on a 2-year layoff who's dealing with drunkardness and baby mama drama. I mean, he did exactly what we thought he would do.
Well, here's my thing.
No, that's certain people that have unrealistic ideas of somebody. This young man was embarrassed and dropped. Like, if you thought that he was going to come in here and have a slug fest with Jose, I'm sorry, that wasn't going to happen.
That's one thing. That's the thing. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
He was going to play it safe. This was going to. I knew he was going to play it safe, and he was just going to do what he needed to do. He was going to box to win these rounds.
And that's exactly. I wish you would have.
I wish you would have. That was unacceptable.
Thank you. And let me tell you something. That's what I'm trying to tell Kevin. If you got Robert Garcia, who's the trainer of the year, his adjustments, it was horrible the whole entire fight. And I'm sorry to say to Robert Garcia.
No, it was unacceptable. The way we saw Haney fight Prograis, that's boxing. What we saw
you're only as good as your last fight. We only as good as your last fight, Kev.
No, we needed a Prograis fight, a complete blowout.
You're only as good as your last fight, Kev. And the last fight we seen him in was against Ryan, and we seen him get dropped numerous times. Now, what you were saying, Chace, is 100% true, because people were so busy ready to, get on Devin Haney, they forgot to put the blame on the other side as well, because it takes 2. And Jose Ramirez didn't cut off the ring. He didn't come in there with that type of that he should have had, and he had Robert Garcia. This is the dog, Robert Garcia.
And let me tell y'all this. Let me tell you this. Sorry to interrupt everybody. Hold on, you guys. Like I said, if you had the trainer of the year who's been a trainer a long time, if it ain't worked, go fix it. Robert Garcia, I'm sorry about this, Kevin.
Let me finish getting off. He's nothing but dogs in Arsenal.
And that's what I'm saying. Robert Garcia, it was no adjustments by Robert Garcia.
They were training for a war. That's what they were saying, telling us.
And that's what even Robert Garcia said it before the fight. We're gonna test his chin.
Exactly.
Not one round, he didn't test his chin.
He didn't even try to sell out.
Well, when you got he didn't even try to sell out.
Jose Ramirez didn't even try to sell out.
Yes,
it takes 2. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be one of those people that
this was Scarlett Canelo.
So Kevin, unfortunately, brother, if you had a long time trainer, if you're not making no adjustments, you need to go fix it. And he didn't do it. Not one round.
No, absolutely not. You brought Sugar Shane Mosley into your training camp for what? You had us thinking that you were going to make adjustments. You had us thinking you were going to be this super fighter, that you were going to go out
That's Bill Haney.
blow this guy
Bill
out.
Haney.
No, Shane Mosley was in that camp.
Exactly.
We know it.
But
why would you bring Shane Mosley and have the world?
I was told by Bill Haney.
Going to do the same thing.
No,
no passes.
Bill Haney chose Shane Mosley.
No passes.
We bring Shane Mosley, not Devin. It was Bill Haney.
We brought no. Listen.
Who's calling the shots? Bill or Devin? Who's calling the shots?
Shane Mosley into camp, right, to fight a certain style, right? And it didn't happen.
Well, let me tell you this:
the same way Jose Ramirez was supposed to test Devin Haney's chin, and it didn't happen.
Well, let me tell you this: just like Gervonta Tank Davis was struggling against Roach, why do you think Calvin and Barry was beefing in the corner most of the last rounds? Tell me that.
I didn't see.
Y'all want to talk about coaches?
I can't speak on what I didn't see.
It wasn't agreeing,
and that's what I'm saying. Tank almost he got his butt whooped. Crazy. That was crazy. I have never seen Tank. That's crazy. And you have your two coaches that's been beefing in the corner. Come on, man.
It was too
what
many.
What they got to do with Devin Haney not living up to the potential that he should have that night? We needed to get that back in blood, and we didn't get it back in blood. You brought somebody into the camp.
Ryan didn't live up. What was Ryan supposed to live
up
to?
You know what we're not talking about? Brother. You know why we don't care about Jose? What's his name? What's the guy that he fought? The guy. Who did Devin Haney fought last?
Jose Ramirez, who's Olympic.
Why we don't
champion.
Care about Jose is because Jose came off a layoff. Jose's first time fighting is at 147.
He still had the Robert Garcia, my guy.
So what?
He
what
came from the trainer of the year.
I don't care about your trainer because your trainer can't fight for you. Coming off a layoff.
And he didn't come off. So was Devin coming off a layoff, and he wasn't coming off of the embarrassment and the brutal punishment
by a PD user. Period.
By he took.
My man had a little bit of osprey. All of a sudden, come on.
It doesn't matter, bro. He said 7 times, bro. Y'all still protecting him.
That was like a fiber pill, man.
If that's the case, he would have had that same energy against Rolly, and he didn't even use PEDs against Rolly. Come on now.
What happens? Yeah, they didn't have that little bit of ostarine because the same thing happened when we was talking about Munguia, right, Kev? And you agree with me? It's the same thing what happened with Ryan. He didn't have time to cycle off.
For what? Cycle off what? On the Rolly fight?
No, for the Devin fight. And then this time he said, and
I'm
then
not making no excuses for that man. I'm not making no excuse. My man took what he took, and he got caught. Period.
Right.
He
had
Devin's number that night.
That did everything right.
What? We're
criticizing the young man that didn't get caught with PEDs.
Bro, we see a lot of Hall of Famers came from a year off, and they didn't get the job done. Kevin, you got to understand that, brother. And it was not impressive. Hall of Famers.
Man, y'all can make excuses for this man. We done seen this man run circles around these fighters, and he didn't do it that night. He fought scared. He brought Shane Mosley. Even Shane Mosley said, "Yeah, I don't know what that was. That's not what we trained about. I don't know what that was."
Because Bill and Shane was disagreeing each other. Devin didn't even do it. I was talking to Bill right after the fight 2 days ago, and he told me Shane Mosley brought him to the fight, not Devin. Y'all
gonna make me a Devin Haney.
What are you talking about, Chase? I don't say that again.
No, because I'm gonna say y'all gonna make me
Bill was the reason why Shane was a coach. That's why.
Exactly. So why did you bring in Shane Mosley? If you guys are good, if you guys can fight, if you guys got all this stuff going on, you could beat Jose. Why you bring Shane in just to not do what he trained you to do?
Sometimes boxers need to switch trainers. Sometimes boxers need to switch trainers.
But you did nothing. My man ran the whole time. Why you bringing Shane into this? Hall of Fame trainer just to do the same stuff you've been doing. Go ahead, Trill.
Because it's different when you get inside that ring. Listen, you got to understand. This is a Devin Haney, right?
I think you're a hater, Kevin. I think that's what you is. I believe, my brother.
No, why?
Because I did heard you in the space with D Block, brother. And I did remember that. So you can't make that up. You saying about you criticize? Listen, I got nothing against you, my brother. You talk about Haney, what was terrible or awful. I forgot what it was, but you talk him down, bro, about his performance. Bro, be real and talk about Robert Garcia. He didn't make not one adjustment in the fight, brother.
We didn't expect him to, Chase.
Okay,
we're
Kevin,
not watching a fight for Jose. We watching a fight with
Okay, let me ask you a question, Kevin. If this is the biggest fight of the year, if this was Usyk against Tyson Fury, you don't want to criticize his performance and his coaches? Come on now.
Them coaches can't fight for you. Go ahead,
Devin Haney is in a position. He's damn if he do and he damn if he don't. Let me explain why I say this.
To me, he's in a good position.
No,
he's all right.
Let me explain why he's damn if he do. Like we seen him, the young man. If he's boxing too much, right? They say that the young man is running. He goes in there, he engages so much. They was like with the Loma fight, he lost. It's like people look for any reason. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this fight is heating up right here. This kid is bringing the pressure.
I'm glad he fought Loma, and that's the thing. He got the full credit when he fought Loma, and that was a good, toughest win of his career.
That was the toughest fight. That was the toughest fight of his career, and he didn't get credit. He didn't get credit, Chase. The reason why I'm gonna tell you this, he didn't get credit because everybody thought that he lost.
Well, what people don't understand is what some people did criticize about Loma is he did took a round off. That's what a lot of people don't understand. He did took a round off. It's not just Haney fight. It was a Lopez fight. And what's the first fight? What's the first loss he fought?
The 12 rounds. I don't know what's wrong with
what's the first fight that he lost? What's Lomachenko first loss to?
Yep. He always gives the 12 round away.
No. Let me ask you a question. Who's Loma's first loss to?
Orlando Salinas.
Yes, Orlando Salinas, Lopez, and Devin. That's been a huge problem with Lomachenko. You know who I should blame? I should blame his father, Lomachenko the senior. That's what I'm saying. He's supposed to tell his son Lomachenko do not took a round off. That's why he has 3 losses.
Plans down. Plans getting rocked.
Whoa!
He's getting rocked.
Wow. We seeing some action right here.
This is what I'm trying to tell you, man.
So Kevin, wait, brother. Kevin, explain it to me. Kevin, so explain it to me why Lomachenko Sr. didn't even tell Lomachenko Jr. that do not take a round off. He has the same problem, the 3 losses that he had. The first one, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney.
I'm flabbergasted right now.
Hold on, fellas. This is a watch along. And this is what we got. We got to follow the bouncing ball here because this fight is getting really exciting here. You see that the young man is coming on. He has rocked Caleb.
I love it. I love it.
Good right hand, a little bit of elbow in it. You know what I'm saying? He rocked him and hit him with a left hook. You know what I'm saying? He had him on stinky legs. He had him on.
But he didn't knock him down, Trill. He didn't
knock him down. I thought he was going down. Look, but he held on. Yeah. But he held on. Look.
See, and this is what makes.
Shout out to Caleb.
Ooh. Brother, if Resendiz did that, can you imagine what Berlanga's gonna do to this guy?
That's it.
Berlanga hit harder than him.
What I was trying to tell you earlier, Kev. The punch resistance of this man has been going down since the Canelo fight.
I see your point. He's taking a couple good shots. Now he didn't go down. We can give him that. He didn't go down. So he still got some chance.
Charlo, this is gonna have if he can get past this kid, the fight with Charlo is gonna be amazing.
I mean, well, with all that being said, Plant is still winning the fight. He's in control. He's sticking to the jab.
He's still up, but this kid got at least 3 rounds in the bank.
Yeah,
I mean 2 rounds in the bank. Excuse me.
And he's got momentum on his side, so he needs to press further. Like he needs to take a shot to deliver to. You know, okay, he's in the inside. He's in the inside. They're tied up.
He's trying to use that jab.
Yeah, he's trying to get in. He's trying to get in the inside.
Oh, this kid is not playing. This kid is he don't respect playing.
Well, he's a tough competitor. Yeah, he doesn't respect playing at all. He isn't okay. He's just landing to the left. He's actually leading the charge now.
Plant got to sit down and hit him with something. Plant got to sit down and hit him.
Plant needs the box. He needs the box from the outside.
See, the fight is even now. Yeah, it's 3 rounds, like I said. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 rounds, like I said. He got in the bag.
It's even. So even. Plant is a Devin Haney type of guy. He needs to be on the outside. He needs to box. He is not a strong fighter. He needs to box.
No, the problem is he wasn't moving. He was moving too much. I think he was moving too much in the earlier rounds.
Well, he needs to get back to that. That's what he was controlling the fight.
And now he's tired because the kid was going to his body. The kid was, you know what I'm saying?
This is what we've been talking about. He's got stamina issues. It's stained his career. He has stamina issues. He cannot sustain the movement for 12 rounds.
If he loses, he's dropping. He's definitely gonna mess up the bag.
He will absolutely mess up the bag. He will mess up everything. And I mean, respectfully, we will give Berlanga a lot more credit because, yeah.
He's tagging that right hand from this kid on Caleb's chin is going good. I would be mad and be like, he should have cut his beard. He should have cut Caleb's beard.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, what the beard? What is the issue?
Usually, the sanctioning bodies would make him trim it down a little bit. I don't know why.
Yeah, I thought so too.
The young man's corner he don't have good people in his team.
Do you feel like
you got to shave that down a little bit?
Do you feel like it's affecting anything though? Does it affect anything? The beard?
Yeah, it takes a little bit. I think if you got a good fuzzy beard, it'll take a little bit off. That's why the commissions and stuff used to make you take a little bit off.
Well, how does it negatively affect you though? If anything, it provides a cushion for the shot.
Yeah, that's why I said it provides a cushion. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why they should have been. That's why I'm surprised the commission didn't make them take it down.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the Munguia fight is off, the Berlanga fight is off, the Charlo fight is off.
I see. That's what he needed. See, he needs to go to the body and get strong, because that's how he got Darrell out of there. Because he stopped moving. He stopped moving in that fight, and he actually sat down on the shots, and that's how he got Anthony Darrell out of there. The reason why I know is because I was there. I was actually there at the Barclays Center and seeing Wilder actually have the fight after him, because he was in the co-main. Rest in peace to my man G. That was the last fight I got this chance to watch with my homie. But it was good. You know what I'm saying? It was a good fight. And that's what he needed to do. He got to get this kid's respect. And he don't got this kid's respect. This kid ain't respected nothing that Caleb Plant is throwing. He's actually willing to walk through everything that Caleb Plant is throwing at him so he can land his shot.
Absolutely.
He was playing with the kid at first, and then the kid, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you. There's a lot of opportunity here on the table. Caleb Plant needs to make the adjustments. And again, I'm going to give Chace some credit here. We don't really have a star-studded trainer in Plant's corner. We've got his uncle or his dad.
No, he got his dad in there. He got his man that had him. That's always been his trainer. That got him the belt. So why, switch up was broken. You know what I'm saying? If it's not broken, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? That's how he probably looked at it.
Well, that's not the Devin Haney way, but I'm with you.
Devin, listen, just because you bring people into your fold, into your stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? All these people you ever see all these people bring these Roy Jones into their stuff like they're going to ever be able to fight like Roy Jones? Like they're ever going to be able to fight like Roy Jones.
Well, you said if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Motivational purposes.
You said if it's not broken, don't fix it, and that man brought in a Hall of Fame trainer, so it must have been broken.
Oh no, hey, I'm saying for Caleb. Caleb's is probably looking at it broken in for. Now we're talking
Caleb
about
needs Caleb is.
Can I ask you a question, Kev?
No.
What is your problem with Devin Haney? Is it a thing? Because my Chace brought up something, right? And I really don't give certain people, energy and stuff. But he brought up people that I see make hurtful comments to people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? Make hurtful comments and thinking that people don't see it when they go under other, people's things, and they make, unsensitive comments about, fighters that look like me and stuff like that. Is that where people are getting their base off? Is it tribal? Is it going off of hatred? Is that what it is? Because I really don't get what it's coming from with Devin.
No, the biggest thing with Devin
is it when you get up to the top, people want to see you down?
Not necessarily. It might be. I guess it really depends on who. Yeah, because Canelo gets that heat too. People do want to see him lose. But here's the deal: Devin Haney is so good. He's such a skilled fighter. The problem is that he's always had his dad talk for him, and we look at him like he's soft. And so, he's not a pay-per-view attraction.
No. I want you to finish there, but I actually want to end because I interviewed Bill Haney right here on this platform, and I asked him that same thing what you said to him. I said, does that hurt your son? People thinking that he's soft because you're always speaking for him, right? I asked him that same exact question, Kev, and you know what he said? He said, who else is going to speak for him? He caught Plant again.
Himself. I mean, Devin Haney doesn't have personality.
We're watching.
Oh, wow.
His guy is
Resendiz,
putting it on.
Resendiz is putting it on Plant. He's coming
I'm gonna be
forward. He's
real.
taking the charge.
I'm also
Plant
real.
himself
The
up
reason
right now.
why he's the
Oh
most
my
hated
God! He
boxer.
might put him down.
The reason why he's the most
He's
hated
looking for a
boxer.
way out. He's tied up. Oh, he just hit him to the body. He's hurt. Plant is hurt. Plant is hurt.
Why y'all watching?
Oh my
I'm watching too. But the reason why he's the most hated boxer, not only that he ain't doing the age of 26, but he have his father. Most boxers as a father didn't even do like Bill doing, being a trainer and as a manager.
No.
And here's another thing. And as a father, right? Of course, you're gonna speak up for your son, because who else is gonna speak up for him? And
nobody want to talk about Angel Garcia. Shoot, nobody want to talk about.
But people didn't hate Danny, bro. People didn't hate Danny. People liked Danny, and Danny actually had personality.
Listen. But that also, his father caused Danny a victory.
You meant to tell me he's Puerto Rican, and Puerto Ricans going through haters too.
And this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ahead, and this is what I'm trying to tell you about with Devin. I think
nobody want to talk about John Fury either.
They only talk about, and I'm starting to see it. That's why.
And you meant to tell me, Kevin, John Fury going through way crazy than Bill Haney. Come on now.
John Fury's crazy. Like John Fury's crazy, but
and Bill Haney ain't never had
one thing. Floyd Mama Schofield.
No kid. That's
Floyd Mama Schofield.
But the thing is, like, that's overseas, y'all, and John Fury stuff hasn't made it over here and hasn't been.
Let's talk about here. Let's talk about over here.
You meant to tell me you went all the way to Saudi Arabia for the fight Shakur, and all of a sudden you pull out of the fight. Now that's making you and your team look bad. Come on, Floyd Mama Schofield.
I just feel I just feel like they get the bad end of the stick. Of course, you're gonna stick up for, like, Kev. You got your friends. Somebody talking bad about your friend. You're not gonna wait for your friend to tell you, "Oh, don't say nothing," or "Go say something." No, if you're a true friend, you're gonna say so. You're gonna jump out the window. That's his son. Imagine, my son is a Marine, and let somebody say something bad about my son. I'm jumping out the window. I know my son can defend himself. He can defend himself. My son is Jack. He can defend himself, but I'm still going to have his back because I'm his dad. You know what I'm saying? So people hate the Haneys because of stuff like that for reasons that they shouldn't hate them. You know what I'm saying? This kid did everything right. He didn't get popped for no thing. The only thing I didn't like about Devin Haney is how he switched it. He used to be the schoolboy. Then he switched it and wanted to be something that he wasn't, like try to be street and stuff. I didn't like that. I didn't like that when he switched up. I liked him to stay the schoolboy. Don't get mad because then you get beat. You can tell these people now you got beat up by a schoolboy. You know what I'm saying? The whole street image thing and running around and jumping people and I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? But so I get where certain he was getting certain people was getting turned off from him.
He don't know who he's supposed to be. He don't know if he's supposed to be schoolboy or street. That's the problem.
And that's the problem. But when he was doing inside the ring, it was commendable. The kid was winning. He was doing what he had to do. Now back to this fight, because this fight is getting away from us, and it's actually an exciting fight. I got the young man up. I think the young man is up right now by at least 3 rounds. Yes, he's up by 3 rounds.
Oh, I think he might have landed that right on Plant's face.
He's up by 3 rounds right now.
He's definitely got more stamina. That punch resistance that you were talking about, yeah, I'm seeing it. I mean,
that's what I was saying with the he's and a lot of things he's fading. And you got to think also, not only is he's fading with that, it's a little different now. His lifestyle has changed different now. He made some good investment. He got some homes and stuff now. He really doesn't need to box.
Well, we don't know how much
he's having more kids. His wife is having another kid. They just bought another property. He's got things going on.
Yeah, but we don't know how much money.
Yeah, his heart is with boxing, but his body and brain, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he needs to bring in another trainer, man. Honestly,
I'm thinking
he's got a Mayweather. Look, he's got a Mayweather.
When has Caleb got a proper rest?
No, we don't need a proper rest. Caleb has to bring in somebody.
You can't listen. No. You can't keep fighting people back to back to back to back. Eventually, it's just gonna catch up with you. You can't You can't fight the best, the back to back or strong guys back to back to back because it's gonna wear and tear camps. People forget the camps that put wear and tear on you as well. There's a lot going on.
I'm with you, but at the same time, he needs to win another world title, and he can't afford to take a lot of time off. He doesn't have he doesn't have the politics behind him to actually move in his favor. He's not a Charlo, he's not a Berlanga, he's not a Canelo.
No, I get it, but he's still playing, and he still got bad blood with people. You feel what I'm saying? Like he got bad blood with Charlo, he got bad blood with Berlanga, so those fights will always be there. He can always come back. He might not be able to negotiate the type of purse that he want, but those fights will always still be there. Those are checks there for him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see. We're going round 10, 3 minutes, and
see, they're in agreement with me. They got him up.
They got Resendiz up right now, a couple points. What's the difference there? 5, 6, 7, about 3 points difference. Wow. So Plant really needs to win these last couple rounds.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to debate with you guys about the handy person watching this fight, but yeah, I got this young man up. But the only thing is he can't sit. Yeah, he can't.
If Resendiz wins this,
listen, he can't let Plant get these last rounds because then they'll give the fight to Plant so they don't mess up the bag with the Charlo fight.
If Resendiz wins this is terrible for the sport. I'm telling you that right now. This is terrible for the sport.
Yeah,
all those good rivalries that we won at 168 are out the window.
It takes the Charlo fight off the table. It takes the
Berlanga fight is off. The Munguia fight is off. No, it's a wrap.
Well, yeah, the Munguia fight, because Munguia is going to fight that guy again. It's going to be a third fight.
But we could, make a claim for Munguia versus Plant. That's a barn burner. Absolutely. Somebody's getting knocked out. I'm telling you that right now. If Munguia fights Plant, it's somebody's getting knocked out.
Yeah, I think
Plant is on the back foot
right now. I think everybody right now, the guys that are polished, not playing out. I'm scared. Listen, at first, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. Before going into this fight, I was like, Plant will school Berlanga. If Berlanga lands on Plant with this how Plant has been taking punches.
Oh, he's knocking him out. I've been telling people since before this fight, Caleb Plant. If you look at what David Benavidez did to Caleb Plant, Berlanga is a more polished, technical version of Benavidez.
I don't think he's a polished David Benavidez.
What is he then? Because he doesn't fight like Benavidez.
But I think that fight with David Benavidez that took all the fight out of Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is not the same fighter after that fight.
Well, what I'm saying is
he didn't even take no time after that fight. He went in there again. You know what I'm saying? And then he's going in there. He needed to take some time.
But Benavidez is a flat-footed, come-forward fighter. Berlanga is not. He has more skill than Benavidez, and he's powerful. He's big. He's 190, 200.
Listen, people take that a lot of fighters in history have been dominated fighters who have Hall of Fame careers who have been flat-footed fighters. It's not how he does, it's how effective he is with it. Look at Roy Jones. Roy Jones was a horrible fighter, kept his hands down and everything, but he was effective with his skill. The same way with David Benavidez. Yeah, he's flat-footed and all that, but the way that he comes forward with the pressure and the way he throws his punches and the pressure that he brings, I'll take the flat-footedness. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm just saying, if he struggled with Benavidez, with the way Benavidez is, he will get knocked out by Berlanga. He's big, he's powerful, and he's skilled.
This fight right here. This is it. If Caleb Plant don't take no time off, he's getting knocked out in his last fight.
Yeah.
And
as a matter of fact, let's get that fight next. Let's get Berlanga versus Plant next for that WBA interim. Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, this is it. This is what it is, man.
Actually, that's the fight to make after the Shiraz fight because we want that interim title. We need that strap.
I mean, what the Berlanga and Plant?
Plant, yeah.
No, Plant's not coming off. Plant's not getting this win. If they give Plant this win, everybody's gonna be like he robbed this kid. Because there's no way they could give Plant this.
Yeah, I don't know that they can give Plant this either. I'm in agreement. Right now, we're seeing Plant 93, 97 on the unofficial scorecards. Around 11, 3 minutes. Remember, y'all, We are sponsored by D-Rock, D/Rock.UK. 40% off. iBoxing Hub 24 is the discount code for 40% off D-Rock clothing.
Yeah, it's been a great night of boxing. We got some good discussions as well. Shout out to Chace and shout out to Capital Kev for holding it down with me. You know, I'm the commissioner, Trill Dollar Bill, and we are watching the WBA Super Middleweight Championship belt, and Plant is gonna lose it. He's getting, this kid is picking him up. At first, it looked like Plant was picking him apart. He was too polished. He was too sharp. He was in there playing with his food, and he got caught, and it changed everything. He was in there playing with his food, and then he got caught, and it changed everything. And he hasn't been able to recover since that situation.
True, he just hasn't been. He hasn't been effective.
It's not. I've just been calling for him to. He's saying that he needed to take some time off. This is what happened. I've been watching this sport since I was 8 years old, man. Even a little bit before that. You know what I'm saying? Grew up in a house where they love boxing. You know what I'm saying? And this we're talking about. This is like 84. You know what I'm saying? Like 1984. I'm an old guy. I look young, but I'm an old guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So look.
I mean, and he's balding, so he's definitely showing his age.
Wear and tear. Tear.
I'm surprised he hasn't gotten the hair transplant.
Hey, and he's on snack. Kev.
No,
and he's on snack.
That's not the ball. No, snack would reverse that hair. Nah, that snack would reverse that hair.
Certain supplements make you thin in hair.
Victor Conte know how to do a hair reversal. That ain't no Victor Conte. Nah, that's not.
Take these drops.
I'm just surprised with all the money that he's got. He hasn't done a hair transplant. I'm surprised. I mean, it's obvious too. It's just, and I don't know if you noticed, but Charlo's hairline is becoming obsolete too. Like the edges, yeah, they definitely they're disappearing. So we are at the 18 seconds left in the fight, round 11. Resendiz is moving forward. Plant is moving back. Small exchange right now. We're finishing up the last round. They're hugging it out. And we are going to go into the round 12. Ooh, a small exchange. Plant is certainly on the defense right now. Resendiz is leading the charge, moving forward. We are in the last round. Plant is down on the unofficial scorecards. This is for the WBA Interim World Super Middleweight title, and we're in the last round. So we're gonna see if Resendiz wins this. The storyline is absolutely horrible. We don't want to see Resendiz with any of the fighters that we've just mentioned. This would definitely. This would be bad for the rest of the
There's going to be a new star in the 168 division. Because this kid,
I don't think so.
That's why we always say, you guys, never underestimate your opponent.
Think so.
Exactly, because listen, the reason why I say that, Kev, because this kid been smiling, looking like Mario Lopez, a young Mario Lopez.
He is good looking. He's a handsome guy.
Saved by the
He
bell.
Is marketable.
He's been smiling. They're gonna market him the right way, and listen, he's tough, and he let Caleb Plant talk all that trash, and all he did was smile the whole time. So, people are going to love this. They're going to love this. But, yeah, I don't want to see him against any of the people that we said.
No,
we don't want to see him. And they gave him that last round. They gave Plant that last round.
Yeah, Plant Resendiz. Plant is down 3 points. We need this last. Can he win it with this last fight? Regardless?
With this last round? No.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't even be able to win it.
He's down. He's down. He need a knockout.
Yeah, he wouldn't even be able to win it with this last fight. I'm wondering what they're telling Plant.
With a knockdown, he wouldn't even be able to.
I hope that he doesn't coast, because it looks like he's trying to coast. I hope that they didn't tell him that you're up and that you need to coast. He needs to go for it at this point. He's on his feet. He's on the balls of his feet. He's hopping. I'm not sure what he's trying to do with that.
You never underestimate your opponent.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's how he started the fight, with underestimating the kid. And then he got caught with some. And then it changed the trajectory of the fight.
I think that Plant would do better with a trainer like the Mayweathers. He's got a Mayweather-esque style. He really should get with one of those defensive-minded trainers. Like I'm telling you, Roger Mayweather, or if you get one of the Mayweathers with Caleb Plant, and you get him to train Caleb Plant would be phenomenal. I mean, they would really tighten up some of these holes that he's got. They really would. Again, we're seeing some small exchanges.
Yeah, he just
Resendiz
don't even look like he's been in a fight.
No, he doesn't even look
like
he's
been in a fight. He don't got no marks on his face. He's just been in there beating up Plant.
Yeah, he's oh wow. Resendiz is leading the charge. He's got him backed up in the corner right now. Resendiz does not look fathomed at all. He looks fresh, like from the first round. He doesn't look tired.
He don't look like he's even been in a fight. You got Caleb Plant is holding on. He's trying to weigh the kid down. He's trying to put his chin right there in the back of his back. It's a wrap. Yep.
He looks comfortable. He looks very comfortable.
He took the air out of Caleb Plant. Look at him.
I mean, Caleb Plant is not looking good.
A new star in the 168 division.
Wow. 25 seconds left on the clock. Division. Let's see what happens. 20 seconds left. Resendiz is beating up Plant.
Yep.
I mean, he really is. Plant is on the defense.
He tried to go for it too.
He's still trying to throwing.
He's still trying to knock Plant out. It's 10 seconds left. Wow. He's still trying to look. He said, "Did I get your respect?"
They're in the exchange.
Shout out to the young man.
Oh, they are going for it.
No,
wow.
He tried to take him out. He tried to take him out. Now he looked at him. He said, "Did I get your respect now? You wanted to disrespect me during the press conference. Did I earn your respect now?"
They're
he
talking
did.
To each other
it's
now.
a new star, and the one.
They don't give this to Resendiz. They gonna fire
his mama.
Somebody.
His mama is running in the ring right now. His mama is running in the ring right now. His mom just ran in the ring with his girlfriend.
If they don't give it to Resendiz, somebody's getting fired.
Look at him. His mom. Look at his mom. His mom said, "Forget that. I'm running in the ring." Usually they don't let your peoples get in the ring. She hopped over that barricade.
Yeah. I mean, this is the biggest fight of his life. He's about to win an interim title,
Yeah,
so
this was beautiful.
Maybe he gets the Canelo fight next.
Yeah, shout out to my brother Trey.
This would be the type of guy.
The odds, and it was great to see. Yes, it was, my brother. It was totally great to see. You know what I'm saying? That this young man, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole time.
But look at Caleb, how he throws that left hook. It's too wide. It's just too wide. He's very susceptible to counters. Yeah, wow. Resendiz really putting him on him. We're looking at the highlights right now.
Look. Next time, Resendiz is gonna make sure they shave that beard. If that beard wasn't there, Caleb would have been knocked out.
Maybe Caleb's defense isn't what we thought it was. Maybe
it's not no more. It's not. It wasn't
this fight.
After the Benavidez fight, it was beaten out of him. The last fight was beaten out of him. Look, he got his dad out there, his girlfriend out there. He probably gonna get a new girlfriend now because you know what I'm saying. Wow. He got money. He gonna get money. But
Resendiz looks so much like Mario Lopez. It's crazy.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I say that?
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so we're waiting for the announcements here. Let's see. Split decision. Let's score totals.
116, 112.
Okay. Resendiz got the first ballot.
How did anybody score for Plant?
Hold on. 113. Caleb Plant got the second ballot.
Resendiz.
Hold on.
In the new.
Hold on. Oh, Resendiz wins.
Like I tell you, in the new, they try to rob him. That wasn't no split decision.
Wow. That was a unanimous decision. Viva Mexico today. Armando Resendiz upsets Caleb Plant and picks up the WBA regular super middleweight title, not the interim that Caleb Plant had, but the regular title now.
That was listen,
wow.
That was a unanimous decision. That wasn't no split decision.
He becomes a world champion today, not an interim, a regular WBA world champion today. Wow.
They try to play him. This is what happened. You don't underestimate anybody. Look at him. He's happy. He was crying in the ring. That's what you do when you win your title. You cry in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
You deserve it, young man.
Wow.
Yup. And he knew it. And the new. That's right. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Wow.
Tremendous one. Trey, I'm with you. It's well deserved. Shout out to
I'm very surprised that this was, now check this out. If Caleb Plant would have won, he would have went from interim to actual world champion. He just would have been the regular champion. I didn't know that the regular title was on the line tonight.
Shout out to this young man.
Armando does not care about the split decision they asked him.
Oh man.
Wow.
Charlo ain't gonna want that fight.
Well, that's we would have loved that Charlo Plant fight for that regular world title. That would have made Charlo what, a 2-division or 3-division world champion?
3-division world champion. Made him 3-division world champion. But Caleb, he need a rest. He need a rest.
Yeah, let's see what Caleb Plant has to say. They're giving him the mic.
It wasn't close.
Does he?
It wasn't close at all. They was trying to make that fight with Charlo.
He didn't contest a win for himself, so he doesn't feel like he won.
He knew he didn't win.
Wow.
You know you didn't win. You know it. Too much on trying to promote the clothing line.
What he's got? The revenge tour.
Yeah, he's been too busy promoting the clothing line. This kid was just focused on the fight. Right. That's what happens. You don't play boxing. It was great calling the fight with you, man. Chace had to get up out of here, man. But shout out to Chace. But shout out to you,
Chace.
Kev, man. And shout out to everybody that tapped in with us to watch this fight. We got the Manny Pacquiao fight coming soon. They got Fondora to Zoo Part 2 on there. They got Pitbull versus Furrow Part 2 on there. And they got Figueroa and Gonzalez on there. It's going to be a sold-out pay-per-view fight. And that's going to be on Saturday, July 19th. We're going to be locked in for that, doing a watch party for that. But we're going to be here next week. We're going to be here next week for the Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. You already know what it is. So shout out to everybody. Like I said, this was a tremendous watch-along. First time doing a watch-along with my man Kev here, and it won't be the last. Next week we got, like I said, Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos. Before we get out of here, man, where can the people reach you at? Where can the people see you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on X as at Capital with Kev. That's my preferred place. We're getting the other social media up, but right now I'm on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Capital with Kev. So find me on there, follow me. I am the newest member of the IBH brand. I am, working right now with Trill. We're part of IBH USA, and we're very excited. We have the Keyshawn Davis fight coming up. We will have a fight watch along, and keep it locked at iBoxing Hub as well on all social platforms, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow us for watch alongs and other sports boxing content.
You already know what it is. Thank you for rocking with me. You know where to find me. I'm Ray Trilogy, a.k.a. the Commissioner of Trill. And you know my album, Transformation of Trill, is out now on all streaming services. Go copy it. You already know how we rock it. Thank you for tuning in with us. And another watch along, it's me, the Commissioner, and Capital Kev. And we're signing out. Thank you for rocking with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see y'all next week.
Take care, y'all.
Peace.
All right.
This feels good. We're gonna go to Boston and Cali on this one. Level up on these niggas and I know they hate it. Struggling that life looking aggravated. Got straight to the money, no procrastinating. Buying